Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Red Sun Gamer, son of a podcast, episode 58. Today's date, June 23rd. And we have Steven.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Day one edition Chan.
Okay. We've got DC.
Okay.
Hello there.
Hello, DC.
DC Chan.
DC Chan, yes. And we have a Cheese Chan too.
No, you don't.
No?
No.
Okay. Cheesemeister? Is that? Would you prefer that one?
Yeah, the ultimate respect.
Yes, please.
Excuse me, I should bow to you. And I
No,
am
maybe not.
DJmizuhara. Yeah, today, I guess we're going to hit some Xbox. The news on Xbox reversal of the DRM policy is something I think Cheesy must have woke up to and thought it was Christmas.
I thought I was still dreaming. I had to read the text of the release like 3 times before I believed it, and it's like, did I miss anything? Did they miss anything? Is it really going to be okay now?
Excellent. So I think we just should get right into it, right? So I'd like everyone's reactions to waking up on, I think it was the 20th, right? Was it last Thursday?
In Japan, I think.
In Japan,
right?
yeah. It was the 20th in Japan.
Our morning, it happened like if you were up really late, you caught it. But when it first came out, the tweet that someone sent to me was 6 hours old. So by the time I woke up, yeah, it was already kind of old news.
But you don't have a job, so what time are you waking up at the moment?
Well, I work at home, but yeah, I was up at like 8 a.m.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And one of our listeners says, "You'll be able to buy it at Quithmith." And I'm like, what? And you're just going back through the timeline trying to put it all together.
Put it all together?
It was like CSI via Twitter trying to put it all together.
Excellent. So I guess, Stephen, you being the Microsoft champion here.
Well, you guys put me into the doldrums in the last cast. I mean,
we had to
I'm kind of
because
like the ever optimist, but man, after talking with you guys, by the end of that cast, I was just kind of like, oh man, this ain't gonna happen. And then,
Microsoft deserved that, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. And I guess seeing a big company like that do a reversal, I don't think any of us were expecting it based on what we said in the last one.
No, not so fast. Not a week later. I mean, E3 has been and gone. I mean, the big reveals, the place to let the gaming world know your policies and show off your platform. And yet a week later, they've completely done a complete U-turn on it and basically gone back to the way the 360 works. I'm kind of flabbergasted that they've actually done something like that. I didn't think anyone would. Especially a company as big as Microsoft, and especially a company where Microsoft just, if it doesn't work, we'll just throw money at it. DC?
I mean, the reaction was so universally bad. I mean, you had 1 or 2 people coming up with reasons why this would be a good thing.
Okay,
but,
give me a good reason why it was good.
Well,
come on.
Lots of
Public defender.
Come on, do it.
No, but there's things like, people, there's more revenue going to the companies who make the games, which means we will get more games. But, I don't agree with that particularly. Then it's, if everything's digital, then some games that go up in price or whatever become rarer. That won't happen. There's the cloud computing vision angle, which I didn't really want to rant about this until a bit later. But, there is that angle that people were saying, some games companies will change their vision of what they were going to do with the Xbox if they have if they're guaranteed that everyone's online as part of the DRM,
right?
Which is a load of old shit. For a very simple reason, Microsoft decided they were going to exclude people who didn't have an internet connection.
Or being on a submarine.
The people you were targeting had to have an online connection all the time, but now they've effectively let offline gamers back in. The same people who have the ability to use the cloud function for any of their games is still the same. That target demographic doesn't change for games developers. So I don't see how this whole turn of events has meant a negative for the big vision of cloud computing.
I think Microsoft. I mean, one of the things I didn't like is they tried to push everything so quickly. They just like at the end of the 360 generation, they like just drop everything and then start with a whole new bunch of policies. And I don't think that's what we wanted. I can see their vision in the future, but not right now at the drop of a hat. Not without actually giving us something first to lead us into it, instead of the way they did it and said, okay, you can't rent games, you can't sell your games. It wasn't eased into it, which I think maybe if they would have done it, eased into it, and maybe 5 years down the line, then had all of this DRM type policies, and then saying everything's always connected, maybe we would be able to take it a little better. But the way they did it, was they just dropped everything and said, okay, we're not going to do it, we're not doing this, you can't do that. And I think that's what most people had a problem with.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it on the last one. It just felt like there was no positives for gamers at all. They didn't give you something that was like, and they tried to dress up the negatives as positives, and
they tried to bullet point the negatives as positives, right? Which was
it's like, we're giving you. It was something, like I said, it was something like, we're giving you the choice, to give companies the choice to decide what you do with your game once. Was the essence of it, and there was no but because we're all connected, they didn't even go into the cloud thing. It was all just a PR disaster. So, even though they've done the reverse, my personal feeling is they've already shat the bed. They've made the mess and they've tried to clean up, which is great. I mean, I'll give congratulations on them for cleaning up the mess, but the fact that they made such a pig's ear of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they still deserve a kicking for it. It really is just
the bloodstains aren't washable, really. I think when you're looking at the ground.
Did anyone, Stephen? You watch the Angry Gamer, right?
Yes.
Did you see his interview with Major Nelson?
Yes.
And he said to Major Nelson something along the lines of, "It's so easy. You should just be able to flip the switch, so you can play offline games, right?"
Right.
And Major Nelson grabbed his microphone and said, "Do you work on a dev team? Do you think it's as easy as that?" 1 week later, the switch has been flipped.
Yeah, I think when he did his follow-up video, which showed his reaction to their 180-degree reversal,
right?
He showed that again, and then just sort of laughed for 3 minutes.
Well, it's quite.
And then, saying, "Look, I know that he had to say those things."
Oh yeah, I mean, he's the Microsoft PR monkey. He's got to tell him what other people are telling him to say. At that point, he was probably force-fed certain things by Microsoft handlers. Yeah, but it's
what you have to say.
It's amazing that Microsoft went into E3 with these kind of policies, yes, but with no actual information to give out to anybody, because everyone was getting different information, and they say, "No, we can't talk about this at this time because we haven't nailed it down." It's kind of amazing that Microsoft, such a big company, was going to go into E3 and try and, in their eyes, revolutionize the gaming industry with their DRM policies, yet they didn't have any information to give anybody, which was, as far as I'm concerned, is crazy. I just don't understand why anyone would go into such a media frenzy and do something as suicidal as what they did.
I honestly don't think they saw the shitstorm coming, even though there were storm clouds a-brewing since February, since these rumors started swirling.
Well, how could they be so short-sighted?
I think they're just living in a bubble, They're drinking the Kool-Aid.
What I think, though, is the problem is I can't believe for a minute that they actually went out and studied the potential reactions. Like, they found focus groups, and then they, for gamers of all different swaths, and then go, well, what do you think? And then get those reactions, and then prepare for what really happened. The real reaction from the masses. I mean, I don't know how they usually do their homework, right, for these types of things, or you think they would for something such as a big change as
such as DRM. Yeah, it was aggressive, right?
Absolutely.
So DC, when you found out in the morning of the Thursday morning, did you have a change of mind and think, I'm definitely going to buy an Xbox One now? Because last time you said you weren't quite sure, but your wife was laughing and said that you don't even know yourself, but you still thought that you were going to buy one. But has this changed your mind?
The region-free angle for Japan is fairly big.
Yeah,
fairly big. It is. It's pretty massive. So that it actually makes it much more of a possibility. if they price match the PS3 as well, the PS3, good grief, PS4, then that would be another sort of push towards getting it. But then they're still left with the couple of things that they're still not quite on parity with. Is the PS4 going to be that bit much more powerful? What games do both of them have that are coming that we may or may not see?
Okay, so, I mean, seeing you said about the price,
Yes.
I mean, you could Microsoft? I mean, okay, they've reversed on the DRM policies. Can they reverse on a price? I mean, would they not just like add stuff to it? Say like, oh, here's a game and here's a year of Xbox Live.
They might, but they've already.
Could they do that?
I know Metric tried we've got $499 of value pointed at the Kinect 2 camera. So they could reverse out of the Kinect 2 angle, but I don't know. It seems like they want that to be pretty integral to the whole sort of next gen thing.
I think about with having Kinect in the box. I mean, the good thing about having it in the box is it means that all the devs have it, and all the devs know that everyone with an Xbox One have a Kinect. So therefore, they can actually do something decent with it, knowing that everyone's got it. Instead of just being
that's big for third-party developers as well.
Yeah, but instead of just being like half-assed with it, because like, oh, we don't know how many we're going to sell. This time they know everyone's got one.
Yeah, so that was what made me feel good. At least I could swallow the price because of that. To me, that was kind of worth it. And I was actually looking at getting a new like PC camera anyway. Because I think I'm on 720p. So with this, it will actually double as that, and those usually run $60. So I was like, well, that's kind of built into the price already. I won't need to go out and buy a USB camera for my computer now. So,
well, are you going to be able to plug that into your computer?
Well, no, but you'd be able to use Skype while playing games, which is what I would basically use my webcam for.
Okay, fair enough.
So that would be kind of nice.
Okay, Cheesemeister, you're the huge campaigner of no DRM, and you're all up on Nintendo's ass now trying to get them to do the same thing. So with Microsoft backpedaling on their X1, what's your thought? Are you willing to pick one up or what they've done?
Yeah, thankfully, we don't have to worry about any of this always online DRM or anti-use game BS, and we can simply compare, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 on their merits. So we look at the price, we look at the game library, the release dates, things like that, that, actually matter.
Right.
Whereas before, it was just, no contest. I mean,
yeah,
when the Xbox One had all of this DRM saddled upon it, it was just conversation over.
Yeah, it was a one-horse race, right?
Yeah, it was basically all over.
So I've done a 180 as well, for the reasons that I can now buy a game when I finish with it. I can sell it and use the money towards a new title.
Right.
And that's the thing that sold me. As I said before, I wasn't bothered about being online and checking in because everything's connected anyway in this house.
Well, that was my big beef, actually, is that because of the 24-hour check-in, whenever those servers would be taken down one day, the entire console and every game ever made for it would be bricked.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they could write a fairly simple program just to keep everything on.
You could hypothetically patch that out, but I think
we didn't get any assurances once again.
Yeah, there were no promises. I would not trust, a company that wanted to settle their system with that with an inch of my game dollars. So
right, DC. Yes. I remember last time they were talking about the family plan.
Yeah.
Of sharing a game between 10 people on your family. A lot of people are kind of upset that this is gone because they've reversed back to basically the way the 360 works. And a lot of people are saying, oh, well, the future was like this 10-game sharing thing. Yet there's a twist to this 10-game sharing thing, isn't there?
Well, there seems to be an ongoing debate about what it was and what it isn't, even from Microsoft themselves. So
Microsoft still don't have the story straight.
Well, they don't have the story straight about a feature that is no longer available, which is pretty embarrassing as it is.
Right.
There's some debate about whether it was like a 1 hour timed sort of playthrough, so you can only play it in a limited time. Then, oh no, it was the full game. Oh no, it's a demo, and back and forth. But it really doesn't matter. The function isn't there anymore. They can say whatever they want. They could say it was all free. But I said in the previous cast that we had, there was no way on earth that they were ever going to give you this DRM policy where you can sell it to one person, and then on the other hand say, oh yeah, but you can share it between 10 of you.
Or 9 other friends, right?
It was never, ever going to be that.
Yeah,
so the fact that some people were like, oh, well, this amazing feature has gone. I mean, I'm almost at the point where I think Microsoft just thought, well, how are we going to counteract this DRM? Yeah. And threw it out there, and it just... It's a non-debate now because it's not happening.
Right.
I think people need to be realistic about, that's...
I think, and that's where people are getting kind of upset right now. You're having a lot of fanboys or gamers with big families who are really vested in that. I think when you think in long term, there may be a potential for, if people have purchase digital games, they might have some sort of option built in to give people who prefer buying games digitally, who won't have the benefit of gifting it to friends or selling it back to a shop, if those are the people who are more like in line with Xbox's vision, that maybe they'll get some sort of benefits. I hope that would be nice to see, because it looked like an angry parent who was like, one of the sons was crying and complaining, and when they go, well, I'm taking this back away from you now, and the other one was like, well, but I was happy with what we had, our deal, but suddenly the toy was taken away. Now they're angry that the family sharing is, the other brother's angry that family sharing is gone. That's all he wanted, and so he got punished. But he was on that vision. He agreed that digital is the way, but suddenly that's taken from him. So now everybody's bickering between each other. The fanboys, and so a lot of people are unhappy too. But it's kind of hard to justify their arguments.
How about if they for digital copies, basically give you like a 2-week window or a week window where a digital copy is available a week earlier than retail? Would that not make people go digital? And then all of the money will go directly to Microsoft.
I think more
and the
than
publisher.
that, digitals need a lower price point.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's the goal. And then they need something else in like DLC. Something like that, or maybe just extra development pictures, or I don't know, still shots, or I don't know what would get you going, but something like a physical package alternative.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a price difference would be better, but I mean, obviously there's it's all stick and no carrot, right?
Yeah, exactly what DC said last time. Yeah,
right.
That's precisely what it was, and then a horrible message on top of that. You kind of wonder, why wasn't the chief architect the one who came out and spoke about this? Why was it Phil Spencer? Why was it Don Matchett and Major Nelson? They clearly weren't prepared for the challenge. Yet after the reversal, the chief architect comes out and then starts speaking. I wish that guy at least had the person who conceived all these ideas. He was the one who came out and talked about it.
Okay, so Cheesy.
Yes.
One of the rumored reasons for the Microsoft 180 was Amazon pre-sale.
Yeah, I mean,
do you take that or what? I mean, do you think Microsoft are looking at those numbers of pre-sale, and do you think they got worried about that?
We value your feedback.
Yeah, I'm sure it was multiple factors on every front, and frenzied, panicked meetings in Redmond where these executives are, basically having issues with their pants.
Right.
And heads are rolling and, all that fun stuff going on. I mean, they're not going to show that face to the public where they're panicking, but I mean, a written statement like they release is about as good as it gets for corporate backpedaling.
Do you think, because the PlayStation 4 was on Jimmy Fallon, right, with Mark Cerny?
Right, yeah. So,
do you think that had anything to do with it?
Yeah, it was just this small little crack about the PS4 being the only one that plays used games, and Sony's like, "Yep, that's right."
Oh, not only that though, but the crowd, the audience cheered.
They applauded. Yeah,
They applauded. So,
it's like,
do you think that's Microsoft is saying, "Oh God, that's like maybe 6 million viewers are watching that? Maybe less, I don't know, but I'm just guessing. There's like 6 million viewers watching that, and obviously that's gone to 6 million people." And obviously, that's not a good message to send out regarding the new Xbox One.
yeah, their corporate messaging was just way off mark. I mean, they could not sell water to someone in the desert at that point. But I mean, basically, what they were trying to do is sell sand to people in the desert. So,
Yeah.
I think still, I mean, I'm kind of backpedaling a bit, but I think it was
Like
just
Microsoft.
miraculous that they lopped off the cancerous DRM bits, but at the same time they also scooped out the region locking and chucked that on the floor too.
yes.
I mean, for me, that
awesome.
was like, what? And then I was just like, well, you know, everyone was pointing at this, so they ripped out those guts like out of that horrible surgeon simulator, or it's like, oh, we'll scoop it all out, and they scooped out the region locking as well, and that's the part I kept reading over and over, because I was after the picture you painted where it would be only available to people in Japan during the Asian launch, and that's well into 2014. So I was sort of resigned towards that. Once that happened, it was like a matter of, well, I can get it for Christmas. If I go home, I can get this. And even on the interwebs, the Japanese were like, there was like a big post on how to buy an import, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is what I need to do to get my Xbox for Christmas, my X1 for Christmas."
Right. So
Yeah, that was really incredible. I mean, that basically
What
made
is
the
something
generation.
Yeah.
So some of those posts were on a Japanese game forum called Hachiman. Cheesy, have you got any comments, the Japanese comments from Hachiman regarding the news of basically Microsoft's reversal?
Yeah, I'll just read one at random here.
Okay. Stephen, can you set one up as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Cheesy, go.
So, the flow has changed, huh? Well, how about a price drop?
Right, okay. So there you go. There's one price drop. Okay. Stephen?
One was so warota, which is basically pooing in your mouth while laughing. Which is just another guy wrote Majika PS4 Kawa. So he's like, "Oh, really? I'll buy a PS4." I mean, you get the same kind of comments that you'd get on any English speaking website as well.
Yeah.
Another person, go ahead.
One person said, "Now sell it for $398 without Connect."
Right. And then the other person was like, "Yeah, but you still have region locking, right?" And because these are the people, and this is like the thing that matters for if you want to get it early, if regional lock is still there, but that people were still processing it. That this was actually the first translation of what we saw coming out. So a lot of people were like, "Okay, well, what about region locking? It still has that," but that was obviously gone too. A lot of people just knee-jerk reactions.
No.
Another one's total retreat. Oh man, yeah, and then laugh. Pathetic but brilliant.
I've seen
Kido Kemme. Yeah.
there's lots of posts on Hachiman where people just going hi. There's millions of them. Have you
I think
seen
that's
it?
because they're constantly yo-yoing back and forth.
Oh, really?
What's going to happen next week? Like what's going to be the new story?
Oh, God knows. But I mean, did you think that because PlayStation basically as soon as the E3 conference finished, they did this with was it Yoshida with the used game instruction where he says this is how you play used games, and he just gives it to him and he goes thanks, and it's got like 13 million views on YouTube. Do you also think that because the amount of people have seen that, do you think that, I mean, this type of stuff is pushing Microsoft? I mean,
yeah, I think when things go viral like that, you got to be really worried.
right? Okay. So I'm just wondering. I mean, I'm just wondering what was
the
Microsoft,
impetus?
Yeah, what was the impetus for Microsoft to just like go and pull the trigger?
I think it's what Cheesy said. I think it was just a combination of many things.
Right. I mean, another thing that some people were a little bit upset about was the fact that you can't install your games now to the hard
Right.
drive.
You have to have them in your physical
Yeah.
copy in the drive.
Well,
Is that true?
you still install them, but it just checks the disk is there in order to let you play it.
Yeah.
But you have to have it spinning in there, right? Well, it's in there.
It needs to be in the tray, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, they would have preferred it with, they can just put it in, install it, and then put it on the shelf and never have to worry about it again.
Gaming library on the go.
Yeah. Oh, well.
If you get the digital version of the game, you should ostensibly be able to do that, right?
Right. It's just, I think it comes down to give us a new price point, Microsoft. Like, I'm not asking for everything, but that is what we've been talking about, I think, for the past year, with 3DS games coming in, digital copies come out. What's the price? Is there a difference?
I don't think, to be honest, I don't think there'll be a price drop, not until at least 6 months after the launch of it. I mean, they got to see it first, right? They got to
at least something there.
They've got to
something.
Let it run its course first, right? I mean, they've reversed on all this DRM stuff, so I think that maybe they can say, well, we've got the Kinect in the box. There's your $100 price difference. So yeah, there you go. And then basically leave it for 6 months to a year. And if things are bad, I think they'll change it. But I really can't see a price drop happening beforehand. But yeah, we said that about the DRM policies as well. So
yeah, I think you're right. It's way too early, and they've just pulled a 180. That's great, but I think that the next cycle is going to be 5 years. They're not predicting 8 or 10 or something like that. It's, I guess, shorter this time.
Isn't Sony always say 10 though?
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Well,
that's the total amount of time that it will be on store shelves, irregardless of any successor.
I see. So, I mean, they have plenty of time, but I think there's this inexorable transition to sort of this all digital game distribution. And now, thankfully, it'll be able to occur in a more sort of natural fashion over the next 5 or however many years. And I think they can slowly start dropping, like DC said, more carrots to entice people to go digital. And they don't have to turn up the volume really high straight away, but and now they're going to have. I think they're going to have to push pretty hard over the years, next coming few years.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm happy.
For the hearts of people, because they obviously try to force it on us too fast.
From a Japanese point of view, one thing I'm interested in, maybe Steve, you know a bit about this more than I do. I'm sort of a bit disconnected from it, but my impression was Japanese gamers who play Xbox 360 tend to be the sort of people who will import and get the English language versions or from Asia. If this is region free, what's going to happen if we already discussed what we all thought would happen with the Japanese launch? Does this going region free push the chances of a Japanese specific model a little bit further out?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
If they're only selling 1 million, and unless they're launching globally at the same time, that might be a bit of a problem, right? I mean,
absolutely. I mean, there could be like a mass sort of import. That should be a great big exodus, because they would lose they'd have the installer base, but they would lose the sales in Japan. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
And I don't think they would double dip. They're not going to buy 2 consoles if it's region free.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be a huge exodus of consumer money from the domestic market. I don't see that happening. The number of importers has always been niche, and it's basically statistical noise. I mean,
but is that true for the X1? Because the Xbox 360, it seems to be more that it's supported by a very core hardcore. It seemed to be my impression.
Just speaking from friends in my playlist, I know very few Japanese people who import games. They usually wait for the localized versions and get those. Just from personal experience.
I don't know anyone who gets the actual Japanese versions. Every sort of Japanese gamer I know imports. So
that's just because of the region locking up till now. I mean, they've had no one. A few people buy the play Asian copies, I guess, is what they would have been their only solution for 360, right?
Yeah.
But now, I guess it's going to be more enticing. I'm actually kind of curious to ask a lot of the people. I haven't been able to go on yet, but just sort of get a feel for what everyone's going to do, if everyone's going to buy, because that's a long time to wait if your preferred game is coming out like several months before, or half a year before it's going to be launching in Asia or Japan, right? People may want, if their favorite game is coming out early, they may do that. I think that's definitely going to happen.
Like, it goes back to that, the proposed launch times where Asia is 2014 and there was nothing said about Japan. So, I can't see, given that the Japanese region's been pretty low in terms of numbers compared to everywhere else, I can't see it launching side by side with America. So,
the one positive thing they did mention that I think Major Nelson mentioned that the X1's going to be making an appearance at TGS, which was reassuring. I don't know what that will mean. I mean,
it means that you won't have to wait for like 5 hours to play a game. You can always run over to the Xbox 360. The Xbox One.
Cross-platform game.
Yeah, if it's cross-platform, you can always run over there and play because no one will be there.
Yeah, I think I did that with Dragon's Dogma.
I did that as well, yeah. I did it with every cross-platform game. I went to the 360 stand and played it because there was no point.
I think people are gradually catching on to that one.
Yeah, I know. Well, still, right? Plus, you can watch girls dance to connect as well, so it's kind of entertaining for a little while. Anyways, have we finished with the old Xbox One reversal then?
I guess the only thing is to double-check who's getting it and when.
Well, I won't be buying it this year. I will be buying one, though, because of, obviously, the reversal of the used games thing. But, yeah, I'll be buying one, but it won't be this year.
DC, are you getting one?
Yeah, I'll be getting one.
Or no, DC, you said you were.
I don't know. Now I'm starting to think about it. That's like 2 launches in a year. It's kind of exciting.
That's going to be because the Amazon actually just changed their date. It was November 30th, but actually they moved to November 27th. So it looks like if they're making a minor adjustment by 3 days, it sounds like they more or less locked the date.
Yeah.
That's the day before Thanksgiving.
Which is like the day after my birthday. Oh, yeah.
Hang on. What day is that, Stephen?
November 27th.
Yeah, November 27th. You're the 26th, right?
Yes.
Okay, my birthday's November 30th, so I'd like him.
Oh, so it was on your birthday.
Yeah.
It got moved.
It was a Saturday, right?
27th. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty sure.
So, yeah, while you're still digesting your imported turkey, you'll be able to be playing your imported Xbox.
Last time I had turkey, I went up in hospital.
Buy them together in bulk. Get a Master Super Edition Turkey X1 combo.
I just don't have like $1,000 to drop on hardware, especially at Christmas time. I got stuff to buy for kids and stuff like that. I can't just be doing it myself. I'm not.
Yeah, I might have to sell some of my games as well. For once, just like kind of clear the library.
Well, yeah, you could just take everything back to the States with you if you go back to the States for the Christmas, New Year and start all at GameStop and trade everything in and get some money for it. Or maybe not GameStop, but maybe somewhere else. Maybe Craigslist, eh? That seems to be your favorite place now.
Yeah, get your jobs and everything there.
Anyways, I think we should move on, yeah? Oh, sorry, Cheesy, are you going to buy one?
Like Steve said, it is a lot of money on hardware. I mean... $400 for a PS4 plus $500 for an Xbox One. That's $900 right off the bat, and we're not
plus 3 games. I think you said you wanted 3 games, right?
Yeah, I was looking at
Killer Instinct. You said. What else did you say?
What?
Well, Killer Instinct is free to play, but I'd probably wind up buying all the characters on it.
Hang on. Cheesy, are you a Killer Instinct fan?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness! Can I? Where's the mute button?
He was really quiet when I was getting slammed.
Where's that mute button?
Me up, man.
I'm gonna kick him out.
No, but
you were bashing Jago, man. Last cast.
Jago. Yeah, it's like the character designs leave a bit to be desired this time around, but
it just doesn't look like Killer Instinct, though, right? It looks like Mortal Kombat.
I know, but
some of the competition tournament players had some pretty positive things, and I think they've kind of swayed them, and they're cautiously optimistic now. It's sort of the verdict after E3, having looked at it again, their responses.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's Killer Instinct and Quantum Break.
Oh, okay. That's not launch, though, right?
No, that's launch window.
Is that launch window? If that's a launch window, they've shown very little, because nobody knows anything about that damn game.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it till at least next year, but... That and Sunset Overdrive I'm also interested in. So,
Oh, really? The Insomniac game?
Yeah, so maybe next year
Okay.
when the games I'm interested in arrive and maybe there's a price drop. But I'm at least open to it now,
Okay.
which is a good thing. I mean, region locking really helps because on the Xbox 360, it was left up to the publishers to decide whether or not they wanted to region lock their games.
Mm-hmm. Most
So
did.
every time I was interested in potentially buying a 360 game, I would have to refer to the big, huge list of games on PlayAsia and see, okay, is this game region locked?
Right.
And more often than not, would be. So I'm like, okay, forget it. I'll just leave it on the shelf. And I, didn't really bother a whole lot with the Xbox 360 because of it. But now
Right.
that the Xbox One will be region free,
Again, is that region free as in they're leaving it up to the publishers, but the box
no, it's
itself?
totally region free.
Yeah, it's totally.
Right. Okay, so
Any game, anywhere, any console, anywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, you
That's-
can play any Xbox One disc on any Xbox One console.
do you think Atlas are going to play ball with that one?
Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One now region free, all that's left is Nintendo.
So have you sold your Wii U yet?
I've been posting on Miiverse asking Nintendo to end region locking.
How many people have you got following that region-free, no region lock or whatever?
It's at end region lock on Twitter.
Hmm. How many
And-
people are on there?
There are now about 1,070 followers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's picking up momentum a little.
Yeah, in fact, on Miiverse, if you look at the E3 2013 community, like 19 out of the top 20 posts are all about ending region locking.
Is that you?
No. I only have like 4 posts in total about it on there, and they've each gotten like between like 100 and 800 yeahs each.
Right.
And my one post on the YouTube community is, last time I checked, the most popular post with 811 yeahs and 104 comments.
Excellent.
So with any luck, we can, put the pressure on Nintendo to, back down from their 30-year-old region locking policy and make the hobby of video gaming totally region free across the board. We're just so close to doing it. It's
Wait,
basically-
you're so close? Really? You think so?
Yeah. I think Nintendo reads Miiverse for customer feedback, and to ignore a rather large community uproar about this sort of anti-consumer restrictive policy would be surprising. So I'd like to see it happen. I'd at least like to see a response. I know that Rich from IGN asked Iwata about it in an interview at E3, and we've yet to see the response from that question. But
Did he say coming in 2014?
that would be incredible. Yeah, if suddenly it's announced at some investor meeting or on a Nintendo Direct, I don't know what I'd do. But basically, I'm just asking for everyone's help to contact Nintendo and ask for them to end region locking, whether it's on Twitter, on Miiverse, on your favorite gaming forum, contacting your favorite video game journalist, anything you can do.
What about your senator?
Yeah, write your senator. So the hashtags are pound end region locking and pound Nintendo region free.
Excellent. Go back to the good old days, eh?
I just found it kind of ironic that right as all this was happening, the new mini StreetPass games are coming out that are only available in Japan and Europe. I just found that kind of humorous.
Hang on, they're not in the States.
No.
Okay, so
That just sort of pointed all the arrows back. It was a true 180, but all the ones that were pointed at Xbox are now added to the pointed at Nintendo.
excellent. So it seems that everyone's done a 180 then on the Xbox One, and it sounds like everyone will get one at one point then.
More than likely.
Yeah, pretty much.
Excellent. Is your house big enough for it, though? Because it looks huge.
Apparently, you can use Kinect when you're standing closer to the sensor now.
Yes, you can, yes. Like 3 feet away, they said?
There was that attachment that you could use to try to get... You can utilize it at
Yeah,
a
that
closer
was
distance,
terrible.
but it's like they kind of internalized that. Sort of they've been...
That was terrible, though, that attachment, though.
Was it garbage?
Yeah, it was. It made it into a fisheye lens. So basically, all of the sensors were all like kind of overlapping each other. So it made some context worse. So yeah, don't worry about that. Don't buy that. Anyways, yeah, okay. So let's get into the games we've been playing. And Stephen just touched upon some Nintendo 3DS Street Passing games.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Cheesy.
Just explain the basics.
Yeah, Cheesy and Steven, did you both pick these up?
I picked up Squad.
Oh, you picked up Squad. Okay. DC, did you pick this up?
I haven't picked up any of them yet.
Right. I don't even know what it is.
On this.
I don't even know what it is. So, Cheesy, take the dance floor.
Yeah, so abruptly last weekend, without any sort of announcement, Nintendo released 4 third-party developed StreetPass Plaza games.
By Good Feel.
Mini games, yeah, by Good Feel and Grezzo.
Love that name.
Who are these developers? Are these Japanese or Western or what?
Yeah, they're Japanese developers. In fact, we have one game from Yuji Naka's Prope.
Okay.
You remember Yuji Naka being the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog?
Sonic the Hedgehog, yes.
He made a StreetPass game. So the 4 games available, if you get all 4, you can pick them up for 1,500 yen, which is what I did. So there's StreetPass Shooting, StreetPass Garden, StreetPass Battle, and StreetPass Mansion.
Okay, so
yeah, I just purchased Squad because it looked like a true hands-on game.
Yeah, Squad being shooting.
Right, Squad being shooting. So that's the one.
So what's that one? StreetPass Battle?
I think that's a StreetPass Squad.
Oh, is it actually called Squad?
Yeah, in the English translation.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, go for it, Cheesy, to explain what these are and if they're worth picking up.
If you want, I could talk about Squad, and you want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of our buddies, JR, he actually recommended this one of the bunch. So yeah, I just picked this one up, and I've only played through the first level, but yeah, it's pretty good. The setting is StreetPass Milky Way, and you're this space cadet me, and you're flying along in your spaceship, carefree life, and then very Star Wars-esque, a giant spaceship kind of flies over you, and they're like the evil space pirates, and they are pretty much, I guess they're going around in this galactic romp stealing stones or gems from various people, very Nintendo-like, as something you'd expect. That's their common currency, and so yeah, the guy, the captain of the ship, turns around. He's like, "Well, we're gonna fight you guys. I'm gonna call my backup," and then the backup is just you. You're the space cadet. You kind of walk out and you've got nobody. And he's like, "Well, we'll start with you," and then, so you're sort of tasked with going on these street passes or gathering people through street passes to go on these missions. And the way it works is it's a straight up side scrolling shooter, and so I think you can, at least for me, I was able to get 3 people to battle with me, and you're just a side scrolling, it's a straight up side scrolling shooter, but you have these miniature pods that fly around your ship, and they can help you in battle they give you an extra offensive weapon. And what the unique angle, I guess, is that you can actually position them on a sort of like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, however you want to direct your offensive weapons anywhere. And so you get some freedom there to direct all your offensive weapons to the front, or move them to the back, or shoot upwards. And the first level, you're only moving from left to right, but I guess as you progress through, you can move up and down as well. I guess maybe Cheapy's got a little bit further than I.
Cheesy?
GPD.
Okay.
Or yeah, Cheesy.
Yeah, I've gotten through like maybe half a dozen levels or so on StreetPass Squad. I mean, it's all, largely the same. I mean, you might have horizontal scrolling or vertical scrolling, or like you might turn a couple of corners across the course of the stage. There's one interesting stage on which you ride a roller coaster. So your little ship is attached to the track, and you can not move laterally, but you can move up and down.
You mean is it like a rail shooter?
Yeah, kind of, I guess. I mean, even though you can only move up and down a certain amount from the track, you can still, spin your ship around using L and R to shoot in any direction around you. So yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Seems to be some variety there. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are several objectives. I mean, you can try and not miss a single enemy over the course of the entire stage, and find all 5 of the diamonds, or is it 6 of the diamonds?
Yeah.
And try and rescue all of your teammates and compete against other street passers for the top score in each stage. So
yeah, what do they call them? Takara Mondo? Like instead of diamond, they're calling like treasure mounds or something, like for
treasure mounds, diamond, something like
treasure
that.
mounds or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
The first level, they were. I got a screenshot here. It says the space pirates are after one thing: the plump purses of the rich, vacationing on Platinum Beach. Yeah, so when you shoot all these little enemies, they leave gems, which they've stolen from these rich people vacationing on this Platinum Beach. I guess it's crazy, but it's kind of cute. They've seemed to have thought it out quite a bit.
So it's cheesy. You have like what 6,000?
Oh, more than that.
How many? Street passes have you had so far?
Oh, geez. Let me see. I have 8,419 street passes so far.
So, of those 8,000 odd people that you've street passed with, can you bring every one of them into a game at all?
No, it's only the last up to 10 people that you've street passed with.
Okay, because I'm going to say you'd be there all day.
No, I'm already there all day because Nintendo released 4 of these new minigames all at once, and each of them are a lot more in-depth than the previous Street Pass Quest Find Me 1 and 2 and the Street Pass puzzle,
right?
Which you could finish, in a minute or two just by like holding down the R button, basically. But now each of these 4 mini games that you play, they all take 3 minutes or so, 5 minutes. Yeah.
The squad was like 7 minutes, I think. Yeah,
sure.
It was kind of long.
So if you stack them all up on each other, and you've got 10 people who you've street passed with, you're going through each of these games, and it takes half an hour to just clear out your street passes. So if I get 10 people going to work and 10 people coming home, I'm playing this for an hour every day.
I don't mean to be a mood killer, but like, why didn't they have this earlier? This is what they needed, man.
Yeah, it's like
4 at once. I'm like, really, all this together? Like, couldn't you have just planned these out?
Absolutely. I finished with Find Me 2 like a year ago, and I haven't, been doing anything but the new occasional Street Pass puzzles. So to have 4, really beefy Street Pass games all at once is a bit much. So it'd be great if it were more spaced out.
How much are these titles? Or at least how much is, Battle?
They're 500 yen individually. You can get 3 for 1,200 or all 4 for 1,500 yen.
Oh, okay. That's pretty sweet.
Okay. This is a stupid question about the Street Pass games because I'm a bit late into this, but my understanding is that you have to buy them before you can play them, right? There isn't a free version and then you can upgrade it.
They have sample videos that you can watch before you can choose to buy.
Not quite the same thing, but yeah, okay.
I guess that what I don't understand is that rather than following given that Street Pass is built into every 3DS and it's been fairly popular, it just seems like the easier way would have been to put them out for free, like for the very first part of it, and then do you want to continue playing this? Then at least everyone gets involved. It seems a bit. If you're going to base games around Street Pass, to have it as a buy-in, it's maybe not going to do as well as it would have been. But then again, these are third-party, right? So maybe they don't want that. So.
Right. I mean, they have to pay for development.
Yeah.
A lot of fun stuff. So, would you guys like me to talk about the other 3 minigames?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Can you talk about it maybe in order of like what you thought was the best? I mean, would you think Squad was the best first of all so far? Or?
Yes,
That's the
I
only
would
one I
agree
got. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I would recommend if you're just going to pick one of them. Get StreetPass Squad. It's the most fun. I mean, it's just a little shoot 'em up, but it's the most action oriented and the most fun out of the 4. A close second, I'd say, is the puzzle game StreetPass Mansion. And that's by Prope, which is Yuji Naka's company. It shares kind of the same atmosphere as Luigi's Mansion. You know, you're in this haunted mansion, and you're trying to ascend all of these floors in the mansion, and each of the floors is kind of just this large pit upon which you need to place, you know, all these Tetris-like pieces of floor of a given color that you receive from each person that you've street passed with. So if someone's wearing like orange clothing, they'll give you a set of orange tiles that you can choose from. You know, they might offer you like one of several shapes that you can choose from. So you might choose like a T piece or an L piece or a long piece to see if you can fit it strategically along the floor. Once you've placed it, your me character will automatically enter that room on the floor that you just placed, and might run into a ghost, and you battle the ghost. And you've got these little zapper weapons that you can fire at the ghosts, and you can block with the L button, and basically every action that you do drains your batteries a bit, so you have to be strategic as to when you block and when you fire. And each different type of weapon, you know, is strong against maybe a different type of ghost. So you have to be strategic with what weapons you use against which type of ghost. Whenever you match up similarly colored tile blocks, if you get 4 tiles in a square, the center of those tiles will appear as a treasure chest or maybe a crystal ball. When you get to a treasure chest, you might get like a special power-up item or a new weapon. You can actually combine the weapons that you have collected. You can combine them at the crystal balls to form stronger weapons, kind of like Kid Icarus did last year, to great effect. So you can power up your weapons more and more as the game progresses, and get stronger against the enemies. So it's really pretty interesting. I mean, you'll find a staircase to the next floor somewhere on the floor that's hidden. So you don't spend a whole lot of time on any given floor. Maybe, you know, one set of 10 street passes will be enough to get you to the next floor. So it's pretty engaging. Do you guys have any thoughts about that game?
I mean, to be honest, I'm having a hard time visualizing it without actually seeing it because it's just a StreetPass game.
Yeah.
I suppose I'd have to go online and check the videos that they've put on, but I'm not one for carrying around my 3DS, to be honest. For Street Passes, I just don't see the attraction to it. I mean, I think it's a bit of a it's a gimmick, and I think it's a good gimmick because it's got a lot of people doing it. Because you see it every day when you go out. You see people with their 3DSs on them and collecting Street Passes. And I certainly saw that crazy effect at TGS last year, especially with you and Stephen going Street Pass nuts. But
it's going to be worse this year.
Yeah, it's going to be worse this year, especially now that you've got actual games to do with
it'd be
with
really
Street
fun
Passing.
at TGS if you're lost in a line and you just you've got all these things to do now.
Oh, I sure hope I'm done with these games before TGS.
Well, you're constantly being introduced to new people via Street Pass. I guess when you go to TGS, it'll be
9999 quota though, right? Or the max amount.
I don't know if that's even the maximum amount anymore because you're no longer restricted to 99 times meeting a single person.
Overclocking, huh?
Yeah, so you can now pass 100 times that you've met a single person. So I don't know what the new capacities are. I don't know if 9,999 is the total limit anymore. I don't know.
Excellent. Okay.
A big boss is approaching.
A big
from
boss.
Poland.
Really? Jack in? Come on, Jack. So Jackie Boy is going to join us for a bit of the podcast to talk about Final Fantasy Online. I'm not actually sure if he's joined, though. Did he jack out? Or has he jacked in? Or what?
There was a very obvious joke missed there.
I know, but I didn't want to say because it's kind of rude. Hey, Jackie Boy. Hey. Listen, I know it's rather late, and I don't want to keep you very long. But you've been playing Final Fantasy Online, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Do you like it?
You're talking about the Final Fantasy XIV now, or the Final Fantasy XIV when it was first released and I lost about $70 on it?
Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
you want to just talk about the game as it is now, because it's in kind of open beta now for almost everybody, right?
Yes. Basically, Square decided to re-release the game, and they have been doing the weekend beta phases, starting for, I think, January or something. Anyway, it's now in the phase 3, in which we can use our characters from the previous, the 1.0 version, and basically the NDA is gone, so we can talk about it.
Oh, okay. So, are you playing this on a PC or are you playing this on a PS3?
I've downloaded both versions, but to be honest, I haven't played on my PS3 at all, so I've been PC only.
Okay. For what reason?
Well, I know that the PS3 version looks worse, and to be honest, as much as I love the idea of playing an MMORPG on a console, I don't like the fact that the chat requires an additional keyboard or typing it with your gamepad, which is a pain in the ass, as we all know.
Yeah.
So basically that's why I'm playing on the PC, but it gets really hot when I'm playing it, so I'll probably be playing using a gamepad and using my keyboard only for typing.
Okay, so you're playing this in your pants then?
Yep.
Great.
Really hot.
I just had to put that image out there for everyone that Jack plays Final Fantasy in his pants.
Yeah, I've played PSO2 in my pants as well.
Excellent. Yeah. What about Monster Hunter? Do you wear Monster Hunter pants while playing?
No, I'm the Soul Sacrifice fan, so I hate
Monster Hunter Underoos.
Excellent. Okie dokie. So carry on with the Final Fantasy.
Yeah, basically they've made the game much better than it was before, and it actually stands a chance now, because as far as I remember, the previous Final Fantasy XIV was the worst reviewed Final Fantasy ever.
Ouch.
So yeah. And the current version is being directed or produced by a guy who really knows how to do this stuff. He's a great MMORPG player himself, so basically we got rid of all those slow and boring systems from the previous games, and it plays more like a WoW than it did before, which might be a good or bad thing depending on what you like, but I think it will be much more interesting to play than before. Basically, in the previous version, all you could do was, on the lower levels, take a daily batch of quests that make you kill some certain monsters, do it, and you're done. There were story quests, but they were quite boring. And now there are much more normal MMORPG quests all around, like NPCs leading you from one quest hub to another quest hub, like in WoW or every other game nowadays.
So are you able to play this with team members at all, like with actual real people?
Yes, you can play it with quite a lot of people. I think that the parties now are restricted to 4, 5, 6 people, while there could be much bigger parties before, but don't quote me on that because I'm not really sure. Anyway, the content on lower levels is easily solo-able, but once you get to the dungeons and once you get to high-level content, well, you basically can't do that stuff alone. You need other people.
So are you, at the moment, how many people are you playing with?
Well, I've been playing the first beta with my friends from the 1.0 version, and to be honest, I haven't played that much of the beta 3, mostly because it required us to create new characters.
Yeah.
And the opening was really long and boring.
And you can't skip it.
And you can skip. And you can skip it even when you're using your level 30 character from the previous version like I did today. And I still couldn't skip it, so that was a bit of a pain in the ass.
So your character is level 30?
Yes.
How long did it take to get to that kind of stage?
In the first version, if you really got into it, it took you about a day or two.
Oh, wow.
But it was so damn boring that it took me like 3 months. And I only got to that level 30 because at one point, if you got to level 30, you got a Gobue mount. It's like a huge, creepy monster from the Final Fantasy series, but you couldn't get it after the world was destroyed and the version 1.0 sacked.
Right.
So you can't get it now.
Okay. I mean, I've heard a lot of people from E3 saying that because Diablo 3 is now on the PS3, right?
Yes.
And a lot of people I've heard said that Diablo 3 plays better on the PS3 than it did on the PC.
I don't believe it.
I also find it hard to believe as well.
No.
But with this Final Fantasy Online being on the PlayStation 3, I downloaded it because I got a code, and the main menu while in game is, for me, is unbelievably convoluted.
Yes, the user interface is a cluster stuff of really bars and names and various really
it's an awful UI. It really made me switch the thing off. I was playing it, but I was getting so frustrated with the actual menu system and the UI that it made me switch the game off.
What is interesting is that you can
edit it, right?
Customize it, yes. But after you complained about it online and Twitter, I thought, basically seeing enemies' HP in 3 different places at the same time is really unnecessary. So I wanted to remove some of that pieces of the UI, but I couldn't. I opened the customized screen. Maybe I was doing something wrong. Probably I was doing something wrong. But I could just move the pieces around, and I couldn't find an option to actually switch those pieces off.
But I mean, on the PlayStation 3, I was pretty surprised how smooth it was, and it looks fairly okay. It looks a little washed out.
It's the resolution is 576 upscaled to
720.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not really HD, but it looks okay. I was surprised the frame rate was pretty good. There was some pop-in, there was some texture swapping, which was really close up and kind of jarring. But the main reason I couldn't stand playing it was the UI. And as you know, I've just said it was customizable, so I may try and give it another shot and go in and try and customize it, because I'd like to actually see some actual gameplay fighting, because all I did was basically familiarize myself with the village, the town that you get to, and just run around and do quests and stuff and get stuff for people and deliver letters and stuff like that. But I never actually got into a battle, basically because the UI was so awful. So, Stephen, I sent you this code. Did you download it at all?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've not gotten to that yet.
Boo! Where's the mute button? Kick you off as well.
Well, you made me run off and go play Condemned. So
you played it?
I can't do 2 things at once. I did play a little bit of it, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Good. Oh, that's one thing done, isn't it? Okay, cool. So, Jack, this is because originally it was terrible. When was this first released? It was like 3 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So they've had 2 years to basically copy a lot of Western MMOs, yeah?
Yeah, to remove the sake from it.
And to remove the sake from it. So what, there's no belts and zips everywhere now?
Yes, actually, I think there are some.
Oh,
somewhere.
Is there
probably.
more? So, is this something that when it comes out of beta and it goes online properly, is this something you're going to drop cash into?
Yeah. The interesting thing is that the fourth beta, which will be obviously free because it's a beta, will let you transfer characters to the full version. So, because the characters that we are making now are going to be wiped before the fourth beta, but if there aren't any serious bugs, there will be a full character item and progress transfer. So I'm probably going to put more time into beta 4, and as a legacy player is someone who dropped, I think, 3 months worth of cash when the game was still sucky.
What kind of cash are we talking about here? Please be specific.
3 months of subscription, which is like $30, I think.
Okay.
And this gives me a permanent lower subscription fee per month, as well as I think some other stuff when the game is released now, and I get a free few days head start.
What kind of PC are you running to play this on?
It's an HP notebook. It has a Radeon, what was it, 6770 on
Okay,
deck.
you're talking French now. I got no idea what you're talking about.
I have no idea what that is in a GeForce language as well. So.
Okay, fair enough. I know, DC, you still here, or are you falling asleep?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, I know that you're in the market for a PC, right?
I've ordered one.
You've ordered? Okay, there
PC
you go.
Dad en route.
Oh my
Yes.
God, so the superior race is on the way, huh?
Yep.
Excellent. So is this something that you're going to jump into?
I am. I played a bit of 14 with my wife. Just up, when it first came out. So only up until about level 12, 13, when we just basically got to the point it just wasn't doing anything for us. Right. But my wife's a long-term Final Fantasy 11 player. She played that.
She played
I
on
think
the
she hit the level
360?
cap.
Was that on the 360?
She jumped. She played it from the day it came out on the PS2.
Okay.
And then switched over to 360. But yeah. So we're talking about giving it a whirl. So I'm definitely interested in trying it. I mean, the buy-in price for the software isn't so bad. So maybe try it for a month or so. I mean, I actually played Dragon Quest X as well, which I hear is going to the PC as well.
Yes.
Which would be interesting. So yeah, I'll give it a whirl.
Right, it must have sold great on the Wii U then, huh?
Yeah, it didn't look like it. I mean, it's hard to track because there was the upgrade option, right? You could download the...
Oh, yeah, true.
For a lower price. So I'd have thought it was maybe a bit better, but yeah, it's you're talking about maybe 100,000 tops difference. So, but
okay.
Once my PC gets here, I'll probably be giving it a whirl.
Okie dokie. Jack, has this put the faith back into Final Fantasy players then?
I think so. Well, the general reception is mostly great.
Oh, wow.
Few whines aside, the UI. But although interesting thing is that some people love the new UI. So yeah, you can't please anyone, I think. But yeah, it's much better than the previous game. And well, most people are saying that it should be released like as it is now. Those 2, 3. It was actually released on September 22, 2010. So yeah, 3 years back.
Yeah, wow. Jeez. So yeah, okay. So it's put a bit of faith back into the Final Fantasy players who kind of walked away from it in the first place.
Yeah, but one thing I'm afraid of, for myself and everyone who believes this will be the second 11,
Oh, okay.
that the 11 was a really distinct game. It wasn't WoW because, well, it was released before WoW, but it was like playing a console Final Fantasy but with multiplayer. Because of all the menus and stuff. It was really a console-like experience. And
Right.
this one, it might be a bit too wowy to some people.
Wowie.
Well, WoW is what sells what, like 6 million copies or something like that.
Yes, but every game that comes out that is supposed to be a WoW killer, well, becomes a WoW sucker and gets put down from the market. So yeah, that's probably not going to happen. But well, the other thing is that all the 1.0 players get to keep their characters. So that basically means that there's going to be quite a lot of level 50 people, 50 being the max level, flooding the game. And we all know what that means. That means that they will start probably complaining pretty fast that there's no endgame content and leave the game. But yeah, I think it will do okay with new players as well.
Cool. Other than playing Final Fantasy, have you been playing anything else that you want to talk about before you go to bed?
Yes, I want to quickly and shortly talk about Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Oh!
Yay!
I think DC wanted to talk about that as well, right?
Well, I wanted to keep it brief because I was waiting for Elliot and someone else to come on. I'm not that far in.
Okay, but at least you've got someone to bounce some stuff off with you, right?
Yeah.
Because I haven't played it. Cheesy, I don't think, played it, and Steve hasn't played it either. So there you go. Okay, so start chinwagging.
DC, are you dying a lot?
I'm at about 15 hours. But to be honest, I keep hitting. Well, I've hit a particular brick wall, so I'm just refactoring my team a bit to get past a particular enemy.
Can you guys set this up for us so we know what you're talking about?
Yeah, basically it's a fourth installment in the main Shin Megami Tensei series, which has like a ton of spin-offs, including the Persona series and the Devil Survivor series and probably some more that I'm not aware of. The third installment was released like in 2004.
Okay, and what platform are you playing on?
It's a 3DS game,
right?
And the previous installment was released in 2003.
Okay.
And the basic idea for the game is similar to the Persona series. You have a bunch of demons that are your fighters. And it's a turn-based RPG. And while the main characters, you have one main character, which gets to learn different abilities and stuff. And you can summon, you can link demons and create new demons. While you're fighting, you can talk to enemies and make them your friends, but it basically means that you are going to have a really strange conversation, which may lead to you dying or them getting your money and fleeing, stuff like that.
Yeah, the conversations are absolutely fantastic. Yes. I mean, they're fairly varied, even with the same characters that you're talking to. So trying to convince them to join your team that's been one of the highlights. I'm not a particularly big player of this series, but this one, I've really dived into.
Does it have the same depth of characters like in Persona? Like Persona 4, I mean, like just the most recent. I mean, those sort of things.
Yeah, in terms of the characters around you, I mean, again, bear in mind I'm at about 15 hours, so that's still pretty early. But yeah, there's you're not to give too much about the game away, but you're basically in a team of samurais, and you have interactions with the various samurais in your team, but they're not the people. Although they're fighting alongside you, and one of them will occasionally be in your team, or at least at this point. Where I'm at, your fighting team is as mentioned. It's the monsters that you've
you conjure.
Basically, you persuade them to join your team, and it's literally via a conversation.
I see.
So it is ridiculous as you might be talking to a fairy, and it will sort of be criticizing you or trying to get a rise out of you, saying, "Oh, you're really cute," and then you respond in one of 3 or 4 ways, and then it might be, or you say, "Oh, thanks," and say, "Yeah, you'd be cuter if you're dead," or something along those lines, and they go in to attack you. So there's it's a very heavy element, the whole interaction and how you persuade people to join you.
So what made you pick it up if you're not really into the series?
Well, I wasn't into the series, but I've really got into Persona in a bigger way. So basically from 3, and then playing 3, and then I got sick and I played quite a lot of 4 on the PS2 quite a long time ago. And then I sort of dropped off and then raced back through the PSP version of 3, then playing the Vita version of 4, and I thought, okay, plus it's got a bit of a dungeon crawler element. I'm quite a big fan of dungeon crawlers as well, so I thought, yeah, sod it, why not? Let's give it a try. And it's great. So far, it's really, really good.
Okay, so is this something that you're interested in, Stephen? Because I hear you.
Yeah,
because you were kind of surprised with the old Persona, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then he said samurais, and yeah, that sounded pretty good, actually.
I mean, it's one of those where you don't really want to go too much into it because of, it's not quite as straightforward as it seems, which is pretty much, I mean, I think if you like Persona, you would like this. I don't think there's any sort of
Does it have the same stylish and slick sort of presentation?
Not quite the same style. I mean, the battles, some of the death animations are absolutely amazing when you sort of cut someone in half or whatever. That's quite stylishly done. But the art style is like quite a strong anime sort of cutscene style. But in the first dungeon in particular, it reminded me a lot of Dark Souls. It was that sort of dank sort of color scheme, and it's very artistically, it's very, very good. And the music's brilliant. It's really, really good. I think if you like Persona, you would like it.
Yeah. What was the price, and is that coming? How's that? What's availability for the West look like?
It's coming to the West. I think it's coming to the West fairly soon. I think sometime.
Is it this summer? I think I'm seeing here.
Yeah, it is this summer. I don't remember the exact release date, but it was something like from now month and a half or something. I think it was 2 months after the Japanese release.
I mean, I'm thinking of picking it up just because I would like to see what the differences are going to be. But I'm determined to finish this one all the way through. And I'm at a point now where I've been at 2 points where I was just struggling to get past an enemy, where, basically the same as Persona, you have elemental weaknesses, etc. So, and it's pretty much the same elements that are used, and they're almost the same names. So, sometimes your team's just badly set up and you have to go away and get some new demons and come back. So it's happened to me twice where I just got my ass handed to me in a big hat.
So for the demons, are you convincing them they're just waiting around, or you conjure them using these gauntlets? You
basically, the demons that you fight, you can talk to them in the fight. So sometimes they'll just say, well, we're having a fight, why are you talking to me? It's that sort of thing. But yeah, in the encounters, so you're in a dungeon. You can see the enemies moving around as sort of disparate blue blocks, and then when you attack them, it's the same in Persona when you have the nondescript blobs.
Right.
In this, they're sort of like a stack of blue pixels. So when you attack them, then you find out who it is you're actually fighting.
I see. So that definitely makes it more dramatic.
So basically, then you're fighting, but then you can decide, well, do I fight them or do I try and persuade them to join the team?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and you said this is post-apocalyptic future samurai, and then there's demons, right? So am I getting this right?
Well, it's ye olde world samurai, but there's something post-apocalyptic in there.
Okay.
It's one of those.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And as for the demons, when you talk them and they join you, you have the demon index from which you can conjure them as well if they're no longer in your party, but you want to summon something stronger by linking a few enemies, a few of the demons. So yeah, you're not limited to the enemies around you. You can summon your backlog as well, which is really important later, especially for creating the special demons.
Yeah.
What did they get in Famitsu, the rating?
39.8.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, but you know.
It's really, I mean, like I say, recently it has to be a really, really outstanding game to grab me and make me stop playing. And from Johnny Ram's point of view, it's like, you know, you're really playing this? It's like, yep, 15 hours. He's nearly dropping off his chair. But yeah, it's really good. Assuming that it keeps going at the pace it's going, and that it still, adds a bit more and keeps evolving, and the story stays good, then yeah, it's going to be a Game of the Year contender at this rate.
So what about you, Cheesy? I mean, you kind of a little bit. You have some bad sour taste in the mouth from Atlas, the way they handle region locking for.
Yeah, I was all
so
ready.
What about 3DS? Yeah.
I'm not about to start supporting.
No 180. No 180.
No, I'm gonna wait and see if they mend their ways.
Oh, come on! I'm seeing holes in your argument. All right.
I don't think that Cheesy would like this game, though. I mean, from our soul sacrifice.
Wait, but it sounds like DC's was a hard sell, and he's really enjoying it.
No, but
I like this sort of game. It's just that this particular series I hadn't really been into. Not been into. I just not played it.
You just had not jumped in. I see.
I don't mean the game itself. I mean the presentation mostly, because the demons, some of them are sexy, some of them are cute, some of them are cool, but quite a bit are a bit grotesque, soul sacrifice style grotesque.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Cheesy said that he doesn't like that style.
He likes it moldy.
Likes it moldy. Hey, Jack, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, sure.
Xbox One did a 180. You did. How do you feel? Are you going to pick one up?
No, I wasn't planning on picking one up, despite the
You fanboy.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with PS4. That's it. That's it for me.
So what reasons now that it's totally region free and there's no DRM on it?
Well, I don't need two consoles that have the same games, with one being stronger and one being weaker and having a camera. So that's that. And as for multi-platforms, I'm probably going to buy a stronger PC at one point when I start receiving a normal salary.
Master race.
Yeah,
your mustache.
I'm a PC player since I was 5. So yeah. They just look better, and I hate playing shooters with a gamepad. The Titanfall, was it? The really cool looking...
The Zim mouse keyboard converter, that works really well.
No, I'm not going to play that.
That works really well. Okay, but anyway.
Yeah, the annoying thing about playing shooters on the PC, the multi-platform shooters, is that their numbers are, in favor of consoles. For example, the Transformers game had 100 times more multiplayer players on the PS3 and X360 than on the PC. But yeah, I think I'm going with the PS4 and the PC combo. But as for the 180 itself, good for them, I guess, and good for us gamers. That we're not getting screwed by the one company, because after that, if they succeeded, we all know how it would probably turn out.
Fair enough. Okie dokie. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys. I did it on Twitter, but I can ask you in person.
Okay.
Are you getting any of the new games that are getting launched next week, which are, as far as I remember, the Tokiden, the crappy Monster Hunter clone, which had a not so crappy demo released last week, I think, and Gundam Breaker, or the crappy beta, and the Etrian Odyssey for the remake of the first one, if I remember correctly, for the 3DS. Anyone getting anything?
Yeah, I'm probably going to jump on Etrian Odyssey, and I might get crappy Monster Hunter. I don't know. I didn't actually play that much Soul Sacrifice in the end. I played the demo a lot, and I didn't get around to it. I was saving it to play with my wife, but we've just not bothered. So maybe crappy Monster Hunter. I don't know.
You can download the new demo because you can transfer your progress to the full game, and it has ad hoc multiplayer. It doesn't have the infrastructure one.
Okay.
And it really looks much better than it did before. But still, something's missing.
Yeah, I saw some comparison shots between the PSP version and the PS Vita version, and it's like, whoa, these, that's a pretty big difference. And I've noticed on television when they're advertising it, it's just being advertised as a Vita game. It's not being advertised for the PSP at all.
No, I won't be picking up any of them.
No Gundam?
No, the Gundam game looks fun.
It isn't.
It's terrible. It's awful. The beta was terrible.
Yes.
It was clunky. It didn't look particularly awesome. I mean, the customizable thing is quite nice. Being able to customize your Gundams and basically change arms, legs, body, heads, torsos, weapons, whatever. That's cool. But the actual game is horrible.
Martin, have you played any multiplayer?
I haven't, no. Should I?
I've played one match, and it was on, like, a small table with box full of plastic models, I think. And, well, it was better than the tutorial, which was terrible.
Right.
But still, I mean, killing waves and waves of enemies isn't that much fun. I mean, if you're a Gundam fan and you want a Gundam game, just buy the Versus Boost, Extreme Boost. The fun game, the one from the arcades. It's enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping for something like that, the Extreme Boost. Yeah, I was hoping for something like that, and then I got this horrible, clunky, mess of a game, which the combat is really not fluid whatsoever. It's chunky. It's just wrong. The arcade Extreme Boost is pretty awesome because sometimes it feels like a bit of a fighting game because of the combinations you've got.
Yeah.
And it just feels fluent and it's fast. This one's like slow and just uninspired.
Yeah, the thing that made me laugh the most was when I finished the tutorial and I went into the hangar.
Oh God.
And I saw that PS2 graphics, and I was like, oh God, really? Seriously?
Yeah, the hangar graphics are awful. But yeah, I won't be picking it up. It came out, a demo came out for the Vita, right, where you can...
Really?
I think, yeah, it's on the Vita as well, and you can bring across your character from the PS3 onto the Vita.
Oh, if there's a Vita demo, I might give it a spin on the Vita, I guess.
Give it a spin, yeah, it's on there to download. I downloaded it and then realized that, I deleted the demo and I deleted my save file as well for the character, so I couldn't bring it across, and I was like, I ain't downloading that crappy demo again. And I ain't building another Gundam again, so I'm not going to play this game, because you can't play it unless you import an actual model.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'm not doing that. Anyways, I think that's that. Do you want to stick around, or are you going to head off to bed?
I'm going to ask you all one more question and head off to bed.
No, okay, go on. Last one and then get lost.
Yes. not next week, but 2 weeks from now, the new Earth Defense Force for the PS3 and 360 is going to be released. And I really didn't like the Vita version.
Kyofu's getting this, right?
Yeah, he's getting that for sure.
Friend of the show. I'm going to keep saying that.
but this new version looks really fun. So
What? Like what?
I mean, it has the 360 and PS3 version has a new class or two, and it has vehicles.
It has what, vehicles?
What?
Yes.
It's got vehicles. I'm okay, but the other Air Defense Forces had vehicles as well, and they handled like shopping carts with no wheels on them. They were awful.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've played every single one so far, so I'm going to be getting it.
But that's because
But I like it. I really like it.
I mean,
plus the PS2 versions were doing things on the PS2 that were absolutely technically ridiculous. There's a centipede, massive, huge centipede level in, I think it's the second one, and it's just amazing. The draw distance, and it's kind of weird. At the start of the game, the games start running at like single-digit frames per second, but then you get to level 20 and level 30, and suddenly it's throwing around these massive enemies around massive rendered cities with huge draw distances, and it suddenly seems like it's not breaking a sweat. But the games are, especially the first levels, when you give it to someone and say, try this game out, they'll probably play it and just go, what is this? This is really just full-on kusoge. I don't like this. It's boring and repetitive. But then you start getting all the extra weaponry, and then you start getting more and more into it, and it gets more and more ridiculous. And then when it does get ridiculous, it's really, really fun. So this one, the fourth one, just looks just even more ridiculous. There's a lot of similar enemies, a lot of similar situations, but now it just looks like they've went and really ramped up the crazy on what you can get hold of. I mean, I've seen a few of them. It seems to be like quite meaty mechs this time, and I think it's going to be fun.
how about, did you play the Vita version?
I did.
What did you think?
I liked it. It's just more of the same and crushing nonsense. It's one of those things. I played it again. Me and the wife played it. We got the double pack.
You got the double pack. Nice.
On the PlayStation 2, this was on the Simple series, right?
Yes.
Didn't it? It started off on the Simple series and then became a kind of a cult hit, and then just became a regular game and not on that label anymore. Did it change labels?
No, it's still the same. It's D3, right?
Yeah, I know it's just a D3, but it was released as the Simple. Remember, you know all those cheap games you get?
Yeah. I bought all of them so I could check them all out just in case I wasn't missing anything.
Right, but are they all on the PlayStation side of it? Were they all released on the Simple?
Yes.
Oh, they were. Okay, fair enough. Me and Steven played the PSP version.
It's like Independence Day with ants.
Yeah, Independence Day with ants, and like the camera basically just tried to assault both of us while we were playing it. It was horrible, and I haven't really forgiven it since then.
It gets better. It gets better. You get used to it. It's I'm not saying it's like the greatest game ever, but I certainly think it's one of the funnest once you let go and get into it. I really did enjoy it.
Okay, fair enough. So, Jack, I take it you're picking this up?
Yeah, I might do as Kyofu said on Twitter, so basically pick it up. If I don't like it, sell it back.
Isn't it rather expensive, though? It's like 7,000 yen.
Yeah, 7,000, which means it will probably be like 5 something or 6 something in Yamada. Yeah,
right.
But, well, it will probably cost like 1,000 if I sell it back, so not that bad.
Okay,
so it's like a rental.
So it's a rental. So it's basically like The Last of Us for you.
Yeah, it cost me 900 yen.
900 yen, yeah. That's a great rental for 900 yen.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, okay, so Stephen, would you pick this up?
Yeah, we like you said, we watched that epic wreck take place together in tandem. So, but it sounds like
it scarred you for life.
It's a good version. I don't know. It would be nice. They're not having a. Are they having a double pack again? No, probably not.
I don't think so.
Is this? Do you know how many players this is online, Jack? At all?
Four at once, and I think it has 2 players offline. And there's a PvP mode as well, if sites are to be believed.
Okay. Well, if it's a 4-player game, I might jump on it. May do. Anyways, I think we should let you go. It's 12 o'clock. Actually, it's now Monday morning. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yay.
Alrighty, well, let Jack go. I'd like to say thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
If you've got anything else to play by next week, please come on. Please join us. Saturday, right?
Yep. Saturday would be great.
Okay, well, so...
I'll be another Xbox reversal by then. Anyways.
Yeah, price drop. Next Saturday's a price drop.
Price drop and the DRM is back.
I think...
but Xbox Connect is optional.
World explode. Anyways, we'll let you go. So take it easy, yeah? Thanks for coming on.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Let's
go some of this. Right. Cheesy. He's gone. He got sick and tired of Jack. Cheesy's gone.
He jumped out.
No, I'm not.
Oh, he's still there? Did you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I had my mic off.
Aha. Okay, fair enough. Good. So, can we get back into the Street Pass before Jack rudely interrupted us?
Yes. So, let's see, where was I? I had talked about StreetPass Mansion, which is probably the second best game of the 4 in my estimation. That makes the choice for the third best game really easy. That would be StreetPass Battle. So basically, you are attempting to conquer the nation with your kingdom, and you are gathering troops from neighboring nations, basically those who you meet in StreetPass. You receive up to the total number of people that they have in their StreetPass plazas, unless they also happen to be playing the game, in which case you can battle them the same way that you would against the CPU players. There's a succession of CPU players against which you fight in order to conquer the entire nation. So in any of these battles that you undertake, whether it be against another StreetPass player or against the CPU, each battle consists of 3 rounds, and you have 3 squadrons in your army, to which they are assigned either rock, paper, or scissors, basically.
The Japanese sure love rock, paper, scissors.
Yes, they do.
Decide the fate of the world.
Yeah, so you can allocate different numbers to each squadron relative to how many warriors are in each squadron that you see on your opponent's army. And you have to, make a judgment call as to, which squadron the opposing army is going to send out each time. So if you have sufficient numbers for each round in the battle, it may be possible to have a guaranteed win. All you need is to win 2 out of 3 rounds to win the battle. So once you've done that, you will receive a portion of the opposing army's warriors and incorporate them into your army. If they're just another StreetPass player that's not playing the game, you'll simply receive their warriors as part of your army. So as you build up your army's numbers, you can advance along the succession of CPU opposing armies across the entire nation. So that's pretty simple. It's basically just, Have
you gotten destroyed, by anybody? Completely obliterated?
I've been defeated by, maybe the 4th or 5th CPU army.
What about human players, though? What happens if you get obliterated by one of them?
Not yet.
Okay.
So far, I've been ahead of the other human players, but I wouldn't put past anyone to put together a large army.
Yeah, I was just going to say, your army is the biggest, right? So what does that do?
Yeah, so if you have a sufficient number of soldiers in each squadron in your army, then you don't really need to worry about the allocation of soldiers into each squadron or the order in which you send them out against the opposing army, because you'll be guaranteed a win. Now, when you're not guaranteed a win, when you don't see a star over a given squadron's numbers, then you have to take your best guess as to what the opposing army is going to send out. So if the opposing army is going to send out maybe paper, then you want to send out your scissors squadron, even if they're a little shorthanded, because they'll have an advantage. So it's a bit of a guessing game. I mean, you just have to try and estimate what the opposing army will do. If you're vastly outnumbered, it's pretty pointless to even try. So you're not forced to go into battle each time you play. You can simply bide your time and build up your numbers if you want. You can also devote some of your soldiers into building up the size of your castle. And as you upgrade your castle, you get some sort of bonus. I'm not quite sure what yet, but there's
What's the end game for this? I mean,
the end game is you conquer the nation and you're the supreme ruler.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you get a nice hat.
Probably, yeah. I haven't mentioned that each time you satisfy some condition in each of these games, you get a hat ticket. And you can take this hat ticket back to the StreetPass Plaza and redeem it for any of 4 hats that are available each day. And there are a total of 99
right?
new hats.
This is across all 4 games? Are there certain hats for each game, or is that just all random?
Yeah, it seems like there are 99 total hats, of which there are 2 specific to each game. One you get just for buying each game, and if I haven't missed my guess, you'll get the other hat for each game when you complete them.
Okay.
Otherwise, you get your hat tickets, and you can redeem them for any of the other hats in the different categories.
Reason why I was asking was because, at least for the squad game, there's the front menu there, and there was actually, in the menu, there was one of the options was to select a bar, but it was all question marks, and I didn't know. I figured I'd have to unlock that somehow to be able to access it. I have no idea what that was. But
you mean
then
the hats? Or?
There was a hat. Oh, no. In the front menu, there was something that had question mark.
Oh, I'll
below
bet it's the ticket redemption.
Oh, is that what that was? Okay.
Yeah.
Because then there was the question mark hat that I got. Yeah, okay. Maybe I didn't pursue that enough.
Yeah, if you
That's where you unlock the hats.
Yeah, if you haven't gotten any hat tickets yet, that will remain.
Okay. That's all right. That fixes everything.
Yeah. So easily my least favorite of the 4, and something I can't really honestly recommend unless you are sure that you're going to like it, would be StreetPass Gardening. And yeah, so your goal is to become the Flowermeister. That's
any relation?
Mind blown.
Yeah, mind blown. That's what the game actually says. Your goal is to become the Flowermeister, and you do that by growing 20 new types of flowers in a
Kill me now.
space. And each time you street pass with someone, they come along and they water your plant, and your plant grows bit by bit until it's fully grown, and then it starts emitting pollen and exchanges pollen with the plants that the other StreetPass players
18 years and older
are growing.
Is this a euphemism game?
Yeah.
Once your flower is fully grown, and the other StreetPass players keep on coming by, your flower will sprout seeds, which you can collect. And depending upon the color of your flower and the color of the other StreetPass players' flower, you might get more variety possible in the seed that you collect. If they're very similar colored flowers, then the seed will be within a certain range of colors. And you can use these seeds when you decide which seed to plant. You have a certain percentage possibility of getting a new type of flower or a new type of color. And you can choose to keep any of these seeds to grow them later, or you can sell them back right away. Yeah, and there's a garden where you can display your flowers and arrange them with different backgrounds. You can buy new gardens. You can buy new pots and seed. And there's a whole marketplace with different flower shop work.
It seems like this game would benefit the most of having like a skin pack going on. Martin's euphemisms there.
Oh dear. Oh
plants,
dear.
But yeah.
Has DC got anything to chime in on this one?
Nothing much, except I'm actually trying to download this now.
Wow, he sold it to you
Have
already?
you been doing the upgrade? Or are you doing the upgrade?
The upgrade is done, and now some rabbit is trying to persuade me to buy all 4 of them. And just, my mind has been blown, because what I did was I went to the eShop and I was like, right, I can see the video. Where the hell are these damn things at?
Yeah.
I didn't look at the video. I was just searching through to see if I could find them to download, because I thought fundamentally I get them from the eShop.
No.
So I did the upgrade, and then now I see that I buy them from within the StreetPass Plaza or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, the rabbit was an interesting touch. Having him show me the game on his tablet, and then, right, what about it? You're going to buy this?
What was it, a Wii U tablet?
No, no. It looks like an iPad with a gold rim, to be quite honest.
Bling.
Yeah. So, no, it's telling me about garden. Oh, please.
What is the difference in price if you buy piecemeal versus the whole thing? What's the savings there?
Yeah.
Now that I've kind of screwed myself by just buying one.
I mentioned this earlier, but you can get them piecemeal for 500 yen each. You can get 3 for 1,200 yen or 4 for 1,500 yen.
Okay.
Oh, you can get the other 3, Steve, for...
Yeah. It sounds like maybe garden, unless it comes out with the skin. I'll avoid that.
Fair enough. Is that all of the StreetPass games, Cheesy?
That is all of them.
That's all of them. Excellent. Alrighty.
So what more of these? I mean, what's your verdict on this? I'm just kind of curious.
I would recommend StreetPass Squad and StreetPass Mansion for sure. If you're into like guessing games, then maybe StreetPass Battle. But I really can't honestly recommend StreetPass Garden unless, that's really your thing.
One question I have, I mean, everyone's been gathering hats. Don't you think the Miis could benefit from something other than a hat?
Well,
like a body and legs and arms.
Yeah, I mean, you've got hundreds of these dudes. I don't know.
Not to spoil it, but one of the quote-unquote hats that I've unlocked so far...
Oh. Wait. If anyone listening doesn't want to hear it, please fast forward for 20 seconds. Go on, Cheesy.
One of them, it includes a costume, and it's an extension of a previously available hat.
Uh-huh.
And it's a very famous character, so that's all I'll say.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Okay, Stephen.
Yes.
Miku.
Yes, sir. Good, sir.
Miku.
Well, yeah.
What have you done?
If I should hold off on this because
No.
I need someone to riff.
Let the cat out the bag. What have you gone and done?
Miku, yeah.
Platinumed Miku.
Yeah.
Have you lost all sense of shame?
I mean, I was like 30 hours past shame. I remember beating. I saw you, and we went to Akihabara, Cheesy
Right.
and I,
Yeah.
and I was probably several days away from platinuming it at that point, and because I had been exposed to so much Miku, which is we talk about how it's kind of like a pantry staple. If you go to Akihabara, that music is just sort of everywhere. It's like Hello Kitty, except for Akihabara, it's everywhere. And I had sworn my eternal hatred towards it, but then after, I have 94 hours locked on that game.
What?
And I platinumed it and have, I continue to play just every once in a while to try to get excellence for the extremes, which are really hard. There's still got a way to go before I extreme all those if I ever can. But yeah, it was really weird walking around Akihabara with Cheese, and I was like, I feel like I used to have this you kind of feeling when I walked around Akihabara, like, ooh, what is all that, the Vocaloid stuff? But it was just like I felt I was like, what is this like feeling? This weird like Miku fever kind of like it's not gross anymore kind of thing, and it was really. Like, it just hit me. I'm walking around Akihabara, and I just have a total version of figurines and stuff like that. But I was kind of like, oh, that's that, or that's this. And I knew the different characters, and I was just kind of like, oh, no. Yeah, just kind of... And I do kind of blame this on... If I could peg the blame on anybody to try to make myself look less sleazy, I would say we had our buddy... who are like our partner in crime on our line channel that we talk with, Johnny Ram. And he had purchased it.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show. And we kind of essentially did a three-legged race through the whole thing together. We actually platinumed it on the same day. And but it was as delicious as it was trying to max out, perfect the technical zones and chance times on extreme. I mean, that alone had nearly maxed out my patience, but JR just said, well, Johnny Ram said, I don't think it's going to take too long to go into the Vocaloid rooms and befriend them up to there's like a familiarity level that you have where you can max it out. And I was like, I don't think it will take so long. And I was just kind of, because he's plugging away at it day in, day out, I thought, well, I'll go along then. Maybe it shouldn't take too long. It took it took 30 hours, man, and I was buying. You have to basically amass every single item in the game, and it just got to the point where I'm like, I'm going to do it because I said I was going to do it, but I kind of really regret getting that sort of sleaziness aspect of the game because they're really separate, the rhythm part and then floor. I think DC, you've played quite a bit of it, I take it?
Yeah, I was, when you guys started, I'd had it since the day it came out, because I was just munching every Vita game that came out. But I played it once or twice, and I was like, it was one of those, oh my god, I've made a massive mistake moments, and never went back to it until you guys said, oh, we should play it.
Right. And
I sat and played it, and I only went through the normal level stuff, and then a couple of the hards. But I was surprised how good it was. I mean, the music is a very mixed bag, to put it mildly, but some of the tunes aren't as offensive as some of the other ones.
Absolutely.
Some of them are downright. I mean, I heard one described as oh, that's what a headache sounds like. Michan now.
Right.
Now or something like that.
Oh my god, that's the one that I couldn't. That was the very last one that I finished. I just completely flat out refused that one.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard.
And it's brutal, yeah.
To listen to. It's just painful. But if anyone wants to look at the YouTube of that, it's just, it's horrible. But I keep meaning to go back to it. I was really enjoying it, and just another one on the pile, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember saying, I think at one point, if it was like American Idol, I would have voted out the music and characters. They never would have made it to Las Vegas, but. Then after a while, I started to feel the link, like this inextricable link between the characters and the game, and then the music. Well, the music in the game itself, really. I felt like they really go together.
This is all Medi's fault.
Yeah, but it was Medi gave me that Miku fever because I got it really bad. I mean, come on, 90 hours.
So if you've got a Miku fever, the only prescription is more cowbell.
Drizzled, melted Miku all over. Yeah, but I need I would need somebody there who's actually like if Johnny Ram ever came on or something like that, or maybe Elliot has gotten really far in the game that I can to descend into that dungeon and talk about those things openly. I need somebody else to riff with. I can't do that by myself.
Damn.
You have to get all these items, and you have to get every single outfit for all these characters. And like you can actually, one thing that's kind of amazing about the game, from a technical aspect, is that you can actually, when you dress the characters, they're actually wearing those costumes in the video. So, I mean, technically, that's kind of amazing. It's not just some animation pre-rendered. You know, they all show up in the video, and I actually did that way late in the game after I had to buy them all, because I knew I had to buy them all, but I never actually dressed my characters any of them because I had such a strong aversion to it. But then everyone's like, come on, you got to do this. And I was getting spammed by, my Twitter was getting spammed with, you got to try this costume, you got to try that costume by Medi and JR. And then finally I did it.
This is not your first platinum though, is it?
It was my second.
Yeah, Gravity Days, right?
Gravity Days was a proud first one to platinum. And sadly enough, there weren't enough achievements, I think, designated to the core aspects of the game. Like, I think I pretty much played the game how I wanted to play it, and then I was at about 65% or something like that. The other half is in the dirty dungeons with the Barbie doll clothes.
Did you play with the AR?
And a lot of Janken. Oh my God! You talked about rock scissors paper earlier. I mean, you had to play a lot of rock scissors paper with these people. They in Japan they have a game where it's like they play Janken Pon, and then that's like rock scissors paper. And then if you beat them, if your scissors beat their paper, then you have the control, and you say "achi muite hoe," which means look in this direction. And if you point in the direction, if you point to the left and they look to the left, you win. Yeah. So it's like a 2-round game of rock scissors paper. And there were some, I swear to God, it's like they knew what I was picking, and you just had to keep playing it over and over again to win because you had to beat them all at rock scissors paper, like 6 Vocaloid characters, and it just drove me mad. But once I committed to the platinum, that dirty platinum, then it was just, it was a slippery slope. So choose your platinums wisely.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you've ever platinumed anything, Martin. What's the first game you both have platinumed? Do you remember your first time you platinumed?
I don't.
Gravity Days.
Don't recall.
You were Gravity Days? Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, DC? Do you remember?
I didn't.
First time.
I don't think I've platinumed anything on the PS3. For some reason, I was big on the Xbox side for getting like thousands and completing everything, but on the PS3 side, I didn't really bother.
Yeah, I haven't either. To be honest,
it was just a timing thing. I think if it had been on the PS3 first, then it might have been a different story. But
okay, yeah, I guess there's some lag and latency with.
I really don't follow trophies or achievements or anything.
Yeah,
I really just don't care about it. So no, I haven't. I think the only game I got 1,000% on. 1,000 points on the 360 was Condemned.
Okay,
and that's it. They haven't done it with anything else. Like I'm just not bothered hunting down stuff like that. Just doesn't do anything for me. Play the game too.
I really thought Gravity Days had an elegant way of doing it. I kind of liked. It felt good going for all that stuff because it sort of forced you to search the underbelly of the maps and all that, and that was sort of fun. But don't recommend Miku. But then again, it felt kind of good in a hardcore, perverse sort of way.
So how many hours have you actually put into Miku? Do you know?
Yeah, it's 94.
Yeah, just imagine what you could have done with those 94 hours, Steve.
Stop.
Imagine those pecs you could have and that 6-pack.
There are certain games where you can spend an enormous amount of time and don't feel like you've necessarily improved at the core gameplay. But with Miku, I mean, when you commit to at least up to that 60 hours to get the bulk of the medals for the gameplay aspect, I mean, you're a beast. You're a rhythm beast, man. I mean, there's no looking down at the controller to figure out what's what, man. It's like playing piano. I mean, it's kind of beautiful how your brain gets rewired to be able to keep up with the extreme. So it felt really good, that part of it.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you've done it. Congratulations on getting your second platinum.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, but it's also sad at the same time, and I feel somewhat violated, Stephen. So, I never thought you'd get to it. So,
yeah, I mean, like I say, it was. Please, and then also DC was in there involved. There was a little bit of menage a trois going there.
Yeah, but please never share a room with Medi again, because things like this happen.
Right. Next year, I'll. Yeah.
Righty. Oh, okay. So I think we've done.
Oh wait, didn't we miss the game?
Yes.
Did we?
Yeah, in DC.
I'm sorry, I beg your pardon.
I rushed out to buy the 3DS Sayonara Umihara Kawase, which I'm not sure how much interest you guys have in it, or whether you played the previous games on Super Nintendo, PS1, and then the sort of packages on PSP, which had the massive amount of bugs, or the DS. Did anyone else play any of these series?
I can't say I have.
No.
Okay. So basically the best way to describe it is it's presented as a platform-style game where you have... basically, it's a fishing cord where you can hook your cord onto the various platforms and objects throughout the level. And then you use what's basically like bungee rope physics to propel yourself through the level. So the crux of the game and what made the game so brilliant in the previous versions was how quickly and how many of the tricks you could use to propel yourself through the levels in the fastest possible time. Very sort of out of nowhere sort of game by, no one big, no one famous. And it was, especially the Super Nintendo version was just absolutely, I should say Super Famicom, it's only released here. A huge game, beautiful graphics, very well put together, and then improved upon with the second game on PS1 and the remake. So the 3DS version is basically, it's more of the same. Graphically, it's moved from being a 2D sort of sprite-looking game to being fully 3D, but it's managed to retain the flavor of the graphics, which also included some seemingly deliberately weird-looking options. So there's some badly sort of digitized style graphics in the backgrounds on the previous version. They've now went 3D, but they still have this sort of very rudimentary look, which is kind of interesting. It's almost like stylistic. The only problem, I guess, with the graphics is running in 3D. Everything feels a little sluggish, and it's definitely not running at a steady frame rate. It definitely has some dips, and there's some levels that are done with a bit of lighting, so some levels are in the dark, some levels are at like a dawn or dusk, and when it has that lighting effect, the frame rate, if you're running in 3D, just really, really plummets. So that's a bit of a disappointment, given that it's not doesn't seem to be a technically strong game. I guess there's a lot of maybe some extra calculations going into the physics of the sort of bungee cord, but the game's fun. For people who are familiar with the series, so far there's been no surprises. I'm only an hour or so in. One thing that may get to people who play this game a lot is it keeps track of the number of times you fail a level. And pushes it into your face. So
I love games that do that.
Every time you go into a level, it tells you, you've done this, you've passed it twice, but you failed it 17 times. And a lot of people will go through this.
Right.
And trying to find every little trick. There's usually a ton of secrets. There's objects to find around the levels. The levels start out fairly small and get bigger and bigger. I've only really hit one sort of medium-sized level so far. But yeah, there's stuff to do. It's definitely a game for gamers where the whole investment of time is getting faster and faster and finding the ways to cheat, not cheat, but to exploit the tools at your disposal. The other thing to add is you've now got 3 characters initially to choose from, and I believe there's 4. So we have the lead character as a 20-year-old and the lead character as a child. One of the characters, I believe this comes from an anime, so there's the main character's future self and a childhood friend are the other 2 characters, and they all have slightly different playing abilities. So one of the characters has a bullet time option, so that for like 2 or 3 seconds you can actually slow down what's happening, but I still can't find any use for it. I know there will be some situations later on where you have to sort of maybe release the grapple and then grapple onto something else very quickly, where that will come in handy. But so far it hasn't been so much of a big deal. But the young character, the young friend character, has the ability to restart the level and doesn't die when they touch an enemy or fall down a chasm, which kills you instantly if you're either of the other two characters. Now, for beginners, that's quite a big thing, and it could be... I actually wish it was maybe put out there a little bit more for this title, because I think anyone coming into this who hasn't played this game before and tries to play it will literally get to the first platform and just go, screw this, I haven't a clue what's going on, and I don't get it, and not get any further.
What if...
Which will be a shame, because as you get into it, once you get over, some of the menu systems look a bit like early PS1, the font they use, the way it's displayed. So it's got all this stuff going against it, but the core game so far just seems as good as it's ever been. It's very tight. It's very fun. The music's charmingly cute as always. Plus we have replay modes, so you can save your replays, and then you get a sort of easy, not an easy, but like a very normal playthrough. So if you're stuck on a level, you can actually sit and watch it show you how to do a level. But obviously you see that it's missing all the different tricks you could do. There's, usually there's multiple exits in one level. So it seems good. I'm certainly going to be playing it for my fun aspect. I mean, it's the level I'm on at the moment is a little frustrating, but it's nothing that people who haven't played the series before won't be used to. I think it'll be popular, and I believe it's coming to the West as well. There was an announcement a few weeks ago, I believe. So I don't know the date, but yeah, apparently this is coming over.
You said you talked about how overwhelming it could be in the beginning. The way you described it sounded a little bit like Bionic Commando a little bit, that swinging arm action type of thing.
Yeah.
But you can't really bring those skills to help you in this game. It's so different.
It's more the physics of the rope. It's the basically you control... So as you put more weight down on the cord, the more upspring you'll get. Mm. So it's really quite complex. It's not as simple as...
so it's more like a pendulum physics type of thing?
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the physics. It actually has a name. I'll remember as soon as I get off the call. But it's... and there's lots of ways you can exploit it. There's tricks like pinning yourself to the ground and then propelling yourself, or... deliberately wrapping yourself around certain objects and throwing yourself forward. There's conveyor belts that you can hook yourself to, so you're actually being pulled along. There's lots and lots of little tricks.
This is one of those games, I don't remember what he was playing it on, but Kacho Returns, the Game Center CX.
Yeah.
I remember watching him play it, and you could totally see the evil level design in there to just make people crazy. It was really perfect. Those types of really difficult games, you want somebody to be... the pressure is on you to do well, and I think it's cool that they shove it in your face how many times you have to repeat it.
Well,
even if you're playing alone, it's in your face.
Yes. I mean, even on one of the first two levels, it was, there's a very simple-looking platform to drop down to, and I sort of did the swing, I dropped down, but I didn't realize it was there was a bit of give on the platform, so I started slipping towards the edge, and I panicked a little bit and jumped a little bit too early, and I died, and then I thought, that was just a stupid way to die, I'll do it again. But then each time you get it wrong, it's like, this is going on my fail count, and the pressure starts, you start pressurizing yourself. It's really interesting sort of experience. I heartily recommend it to people who... It's like I say, it's a gamer's game. I think people looking for a casual bit of fun will not like it, but I think people who invest the time in it, and they would love it. And if you're not sure about it, obviously, it'll be fairly expensive. I believe it's up on it's definitely on Japanese PSN, available for the PS1, and it's definitely worth a look for 600 yen. It's a fantastic game at that price. I mean, it was also a very expensive game to get for quite a long time in Akihabara. So, 600 yen's a bargain. It's worth a look, whichever version you look at.
Excellent.
Sounds kind of good. Yeah, it sounds really good, actually.
Yeah. But the only big thing that was been annoying is the slowdown in the 3D. So, playing it's silky smooth all the time in 2D. But in the 3D, it's a bit disappointing.
Cool. Sounds interesting. Is this something that you think of picking up, Steve?
Yeah. I don't know, of Shin Megami Tensei or that. What would you pick of the two?
If I had to basically where I stand now, Shin Megami Tensei is probably going to be a Game of the Year contender. As much fun as this is. I don't see it being in a Game of the Year contender race. It'll be a good game, but yeah, I would pick up the RPG.
Cool.
Something to consider. Now, about you guys, no?
Not really. No, not my style. Unfortunately,
I do like my challenging action games, but I need to find out more about it.
You like Dopedo?
The other thing, Tad, is
I mean, that's kind of.
I liked it, but I'm really just not sure about it. And again, it's another game I really need to see before I end up dropping money.
Definitely check out some of the videos online. That, if you can see something on YouTube that shows you the game, and then look for a video that shows you someone doing some of the more crazy stuff, some of the more technical stuff, and then the penny starts to drop of what the game's about.
Right. I mean, something about like Biocommander mechanics, right?
Yeah, it's a bit more complex. I think you need to see it. I mean, it's quite hard to describe, but it's quite, physics heavy.
Right, because I wasn't really a fan of Bionic Commander, so...
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they're two similar games. This is very, very slow. There's some enemies to avoid, but it's not that sort of game. There's some boss battles, but again, it's more slow and methodical and more about navigating the environment.
So this is on what, the 3DS again, or the
This is 3DS.
This is 3DS, and this is on the eShop, yeah.
It's available. This is a full price release. I bought the retail version, but you can download it.
Okay.
Did you turn off the 3DS then? I guess 3D.
I've turned it off because I just prefer it being smooth.
Right.
Because and again, it made it feel sluggish, whether that was psychological or not. There's sometimes where you do have to, maybe make a jump correctly, or you have to get your line out as quickly as possible. So I didn't want that sluggish feeling, and I wanted to, once you switch it into 2D, it feels a lot smoother.
I think it goes back to sort of what Cheesy was saying, in light of the X1 reversal, I gotta have enough money tucked away for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's sort of like getting that money, sort of like pile of Dragon Coin, and just once that's secure, then figure out what's left, and then sort of draw the game roadmap up till Christmas. That's a lot of. I mean, probably like a couple week period, 2 consoles.
That's a lot of coin, isn't it?
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Okay.
So I'm trying to just gauge how good these games are. So you said Game of the Year, so that's. Ooh.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that when me and Jack were talking before about the Gundam for Vita, it's not actually a demo. It's just a support application for the Gundam free-to-play game on the PS3. Yeah. So it's just a support application. It's not actually a full demo of Gundam Breaker. So
right. So don't run to the Vitas.
Don't run and go download and go, hey, where's my demo? And then go, lying bastard, and then start throwing stuff at me. So it's just a support application. So there you go.
What are you playing?
Me. Yeah. I'm playing The Last of Us.
Put him on the spot.
I'm playing The Last of Us, but that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Although it is the Japanese version.
I don't know.
It is the Japanese version, but I'm playing it in English. I refuse to play that in Japanese because it's a Western developed game. But that's what I'm playing at the moment. I'm not actually playing any Japanese games. I did download that demo for that crappy Monster Hunter game. DC, what was that?
Oh, I see.
They released a new demo, so hopefully they fixed some of that stuff. So I downloaded that, but I haven't actually played it yet. So I wanted to try and get into that to see if they've actually listened to any of the user feedback from the previous demo, if they've actually fixed anything, and maybe go in and play it again. Okay, so that's what I've been playing. So put me on the spot, no problem. Answered. The Last of Us, not a Japanese game. Who else has got Last of Us by any chance?
Me.
You? Okay.
Yeah.
Cheesy? your type of game? No.
I do enjoy my cinematic games. I'm not too hot on the idea of zombies or shooting, but I might give it a try anyway. So I'm keeping an open mind. I'm hearing lots of really good feedback on that game, so I might just go for it.
I was actually surprised because all of the video game stores I've been to, I went to 4 stores and it was sold out in 4 stores. 5th store they had a few copies left.
Really?
Yeah, so it seems to be doing pretty well. All of the stores I've gone to as well, they've got like as soon as you walk in, it's like bang right in front of you. The Last of Us. It's like so like a huge wall of the stuff. But yeah, 4 of the stores I went to yesterday sold out. So I'm quite surprised. So hopefully it'll do pretty well. It seems to get decent reviews in Famitsu. Did it not, DC?
Yeah, it was 38, something like that. It's quite a decent mark.
Pretty decent. Decent score. Not bad. Anyways, Western games not allowed. Naughty. Like let's not get off topic. Anyways,
did any of you play the Ace Attorney 5 demo?
No.
Nobody? I mean, it was available online as a flash, so you didn't even need the 3DS. And that was really good. I played that.
Was that not the TGS demo from last year?
It was a TGS demo, and then they had one new character that was missing from the previous TGS demo. But yeah, it was basically the same. But we at that time, we kind of had all talked about how we felt sort of rushed because you only had a limited amount of time to get through it.
Right.
So it was nice to kind of just take the time and then complete the demo because I didn't have time to finish that last time. So.
Okie dokie.
But yeah, it was good, and I recommend giving it a go. It's available as a flash demo, and it debuted online. So I mean, you can just go on and play it for free. You don't need a 3DS. All you need is Flash.
Flash. Yeah, I think I've got that. I'm covered.
I mean, there's no 3D on there, but other than that, it was perfect. It was like a virtual 3DS graphic, and then you can play it with the top and bottom screen. Yeah, it was really good.
Nice. I'll give it a whirl then.
With region blocking, and on a positive note, at least you can play 3DS games region free in Flash.
Yeah, thanks Capcom. I think they learned from their Resident Evil Revelations debacle. Remember that? They locked the save.
You could not erase it.
And you couldn't erase it, so... I think you could erase it using a third-party device, right?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Anyways, Cheesy, apparently there's some questions on the gaff.
Yes.
Would you like to read them out?
Sure. This one's from Samurai Heart. If you can revive any franchise for the next generation, what would it be?
Ooh. Okay, Cheesy, you want to go with it first? Because you knew what it was common, so you want to take it?
If I could revive any franchise. Oh, boy. Let me think about that one for a few minutes.
No, you can't do that. You asked it, brother.
What about The Last Guardian?
Oh.
Ooh, Ice Cold Burn.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I would pick.
Go on, then.
Child of Eden for X1. A new Child of Eden from Mizuguchi.
I wouldn't call that a revival.
It's not a revival, is it?
What do you mean? That guy's pretty much give his big finger to the crowd. He's not gaming anymore. I mean, he's not developing anymore.
No, he's not. No, he's taking a bit of a sabbatical, right?
Well, that's questionable.
Right, okay. Okay, DC, you got one?
Yeah, well, there's only one game in the series, but Chrome Hounds.
Ah, yes, that's
best
your...
Best game this gen. Still best game this gen.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's not still the best game because they turned the servers off. But yeah, I
was going to say
that game so much.
What about Hawken? Now that you're going to go PC dead.
Yeah, I might give that a whirl, see what it's like, but I don't think it's going to have the magic of Chrome Hounds.
Well, the tanks, man.
It's actually confirmed that they're I think there's a Japanese developer developing mechs for Hawken, actually. I think that was recently announced, so you might want to look into that.
You might want to...
I'm actually more hopeful for Armored Core 5, the new Armored Core. It seems to have ripped everything out from Chrome Hounds and took it into their online, so I'm hoping that's... I don't know, they just needed to slow it down a little bit, and then it would be pretty much Chromehound. So
I want side-scrolling shooters to come back again. Like, they've kind of disappeared. I want, like, Axelay or Guy. Do you remember Gainug at all? DC?
Yeah, Wings of War in the West.
Wings of War in the West, yeah. I absolutely loved that game. Yeah, I want some shooters back, some good old...
I mean, there's the cave games on the Xbox, on the X360. The Akai Katana is probably the most recent side-scroller that's out there that's decent enough. Yeah, I mean, they're still out there. But I mean, with Cave seemingly
disappearing or
into a cave, ill, we're running out of people. But there's there's a few other sort of titles out there. It's not quite gone away, and if you're prepared to dip into the PC Dojin sort of scene, there's
why don't you translate that?
No, there's non-hentai stuff out there that's pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Non-hentai. I mean, going all the way back to like the Bike Bandits and things like that. There's quite a few good-sized scrolling shooters. Should put together a list at some point.
Yeah, Area 51, please. I need one of those.
88, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, Area 88.
51 is the gun shooter.
Yeah, it's a gun shoot. Jesus Christ, what have I just done? Committed suicide on a podcast. Yeah, no, UN Squadron, yeah. Yeah, just good old-fashioned side-scrollers. I, to be honest, the cave shooters never really did anything for me.
They're definitely an acquired taste.
Yeah.
But I'm not particularly brilliant at them, but I really enjoy I like the art a lot, and I like I particularly like Mushime-sama, but that's an up-scroller, up-screen scroller.
Yeah.
But it's if you sit and play one of them for quite a while, then I think it all sort of starts clicking. But yeah, I think it's definitely a dying sort of area. Unfortunately, it's on the decline. But yeah, those games are worth the time.
Right, and Ridge Racer would be my other one, like a real proper Namco Ridge Racer, like Ridge Racer 4.
Yeah.
I'll have
Ridge
one of
Vision 2010.
Yeah, I'll like one of those, please. Bring that back. Cheesy, come on.
Yeah, if I were to revive any series for next generation, it would be Final Fantasy.
Oh, God. I'm going to switch you off. Here. Get out. Are you channeling Eric by any chance?
No, I'm dead serious.
I actually quite like the look of 15, if I'm honest. I don't know why. I was just like, oh, well, they're doing something a little strange with it, which, fine.
How many female characters are there?
I'm not even sure I can tell who is who. Final Fantasy characters, to be quite honest. The men are so attractive, I can't tell.
But who do we have to thank for that?
Eric,
yeah. It's all Eric's fault, yeah.
Yeah, I think there are 2 female characters out of a cast of 13 or something.
Wow, that's quite...
15. It's really, yeah. I don't know what to think about that game.
Okay. Just a question. This isn't a Japanese, but you did say the question was any series, revive any series. One company I really liked way back in like the 80s, early 90s was Cinemaware. I know this isn't a Japanese game, but like Defender of the Crown, Lords of the Rising Sun. Well, that's kind of a Japanese game, I guess you could say. Especially it came from the desert. I mean, talking about ants.
Oh my God. I used to love that on the Amiga.
Wings was amazing. No? Am I getting any love or no?
Yeah, no, I'm completely on board. Rocket Ranger as well was another.
Yeah, Rocket Ranger was amazing.
But yeah, there was a semi quasi follow up to Defender of the Crown on the Xbox, which was like the Robin Hood Defender of the Crown.
Yeah,
and it was. I bought it. I was so excited, and it was so appalling.
That looked like a bad skin DLC.
Yeah, but I thought Cinemaware, all their titles had been bought out by someone recently. Because I remember seeing something about it and getting excited, but
they are doing a Kickstarter for Wings, which looks really amazing.
Okay,
so I guess maybe they are going to revive it. So we'll see.
But I think of the two, a new Rocket Ranger or a new It Came from the Desert would be the ones I'd want.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, Cheesy, next one.
Yes. So the other question from Samurai Heart is, and would you be doing a podcast that looks back at the current gen, i.e. best game, worst purchase, biggest surprise, news, etc.?
That'd be pretty cool.
What you mean when next gen starts?
Well, it's already started, isn't it?
No, not until it's in the shops, and not until Sony says.
No, it's in the stuff.
No. Well,
Wait to hit your lull, hit a lull. I mean, like after they come out, I think, because you're going to hit it eventually.
I think there will be a midsummer lull in like August before TGS.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I don't see why we cannot have a look back at the current gen and look at the best and worst games we've bought. So yeah,
Best and worst, hidden gems, that sort of thing.
I think that would be quite amusing actually. There's been a lot of crap I've bought. Yeah, we could do that. So yeah, Samurai Heart, yes, is the answer to your question. Okay, next one. Was there another one at all?
Yeah, there's one more. It's from Demidar. What do you think about the launch lineups of the PS4 and Xbone? How bad do you think the post-launch drought will be?
Post-launch drought.
So you mean like leading up to the next fiscal year, or so like the launch window?
Well, I guess after the first 3 months.
So basically,
end of March probably.
Yeah, January through June of 2014.
Well, we're not getting anything that far, so we're not getting anything beyond the launch window, are we? Any
don't know
games in
yet.
development?
Yeah, they've been pretty vague about release dates just yet.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to say what kind of what's going to be launched in like post launch or post launch window. I mean, the only thing I know of, which is like the first quarter of PlayStation 4, is Infamous. You know, that's not a launch title; that's launch window, and they said.
I mean, from a money standpoint, the launch itself is, yeah. Well, there will be probably some leftover games there that we can't even afford.
Post launch, I mean, I guess it can't be any worse than the Wii U, right?
Yeah, it's going to be way better than that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hopefully, I can't.
I mean, I'm
see
looking at the beyond, at least for Xbox. I'm looking at the launch titles, and then I'm looking at the launch window. I mean, in launch window, they're Titanfall, Watch Dogs. Those are two really big titles.
Steve, do you want to tell? Have you got a list there of what's Xbox One launch lineup?
Launch titles. It's just real quick: Rapid Fire Battlefield 4, Call of Duty's Ghosts, Red Rising 3, FIFA 14, Forza Motorsport 5, Local Cycle, Madden NFL 25, NBA Live 14, Killer Instinct, Kinect Sports Rivals, Rise Son of Rome, Skylanders Swap Force. And then for the launch window, it's Assassin's Creed 4, Just Dance 14, Minecraft, NBA 2K14, Need for Speed, Power Star Golf, Project Spark, The Crew, Titanfall, Watch Dogs, and Wolfenstein.
So DC's going to buy all of those.
Probably not this time. I'm not betting against it. But
Are you sure you did that with the Vita, right?
yeah.
Got your face in a magazine or something?
To be honest, there isn't many Vita titles I don't have, which is pretty sad.
So out of that list, would you say that was a strong lineup for the launch? There's something there for everybody, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just missing a strong Kinect title.
Well, Just Dance is
Fantasia, where's that? When is that coming?
Next year.
next year, yeah.
That's beyond.
We don't even know if it's launch window.
Yeah, I mean, the lineup sounds good, but it's lacking, as we said before, Japanese titles, and we've got no idea what.
Japanese and Kinect titles is just pathetic.
No, I'm not talking about Kinect. I'm just talking about Japan titles as a whole. But yeah, I mean, I think the 360 lineup is a decent lineup.
360?
Sorry, Xbox One, Xbox 180, whatever you want to call it. It seems to be a decent lineup. I'm not too sure if there's anything there that I would want. I mean,
well, you're all about the racers, right?
I'm about
You
the
just
races,
need your
but Forza's never done anything for me.
How about Drive Club then?
The Drive Club is free on PS4 anyway.
Yeah.
If you got PS Plus, okay, it's not the full edition, but
Are you going to go for the full edition?
depends how I like the cut down version, the PS Plus version. I mean, if it's good and I want to get more cars and more trucks, and I enjoy the PS Plus edition, yeah, I'd pick it up.
Now, tell me, are you more about the gameplay, or are you more about the replication of cars authentically?
I'm more about how it feels and how it drives.
Yeah.
It's like Gran Turismo. I like it because it feels tight. The cars react the way they should. They respond to a bunch of different track, like asphalt and like, loose gravel and stuff. You can feel it. So, and apparently the next version is even better again. So, I like the realism.
Really sell that one hard.
Yeah, I like the realism. That's what I like about it. I mean, I'm not really into the customization and stuff.
I mean,
and
obviously, if you get a
liveries.
Thrustmaster,
Sorry?
obviously, if you get a Thrustmaster, you're set. But I mean, just from the controllers out of the box, it seems maybe those dynamic impulse triggers for the Xbox, the X1 might give it a. They say you can simulate the feel of the revving of the engines through that, and that might be. I'm kind of really curious to see how well that translates.
I'm not too sure how long I want that force feedback going through my fingers, though. I mean, after a few hours or an hour or so, you might have arthritis or something. I really don't know. I need to play it myself. But as I said before, Forza isn't a game I've clicked with, and it's never clicked with me. It's not arcade, it's not simulation, it's kind of in between, and I don't like the in between, you know. So I've never liked a game where you can like rewind and then like fix your mistake. I mean, that's not a true racing game. I mean, you don't get a chance to do that on the racetrack, so I don't really want to do it in a racing game, so to say.
No Hatsune Miku paint jobs in Forza for you?
Absolutely not. No, it just doesn't. That kind of stuff doesn't really do anything for me, as I've said before. So no, I'm all about the realism. So, but I mean, as I said before, I think the Xbox One has a decent lineup, but it's going to be hard because all my multi-platform games I will be buying on the PS4. I mean, the Xbox will be about the Xbox exclusive. So I need to look out for the Xbox exclusive games like Quantum Break. I'm interested in that, although I know nothing about it. But Remedy are a very good studio. They're good at storytelling and stuff. So
doesn't sound like you're making a good case to buy it for yourself. I think you might be setting yourself up for disappointment.
Are you talking yourself out of it?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. No. I just said all my multi-platform games go on the PS4, and I'll be buying the exclusives. I'm not talking my way out of anything.
Well, no, it just sounds like there's nothing there for you
at launch. No, there's not really. No, doesn't. I mean, Rise didn't do anything for me, as I've said. Forza doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I'm really wondering about Rise. There's hands-on, man. Like Jeff Kanata said he liked it, and then a lot of people still saying it's really simple, but there's not. It's not the QTE bush and mashing hell that the demo seemed to demonstrate, but it's too simple, and it does seem like it's too simple.
Yeah, so I mean, as I said, I'd rather wait until like launch comes and we've got a solid lineup and we know exactly what's coming out, and then I'll be able to make a decision. But at the moment, I can't make a decision on really either platform. What do you think, launch lineup wise?
I think for me, it will be going to TGS now that we know they're going to be there, and getting my hands on both of the new controllers. You made a pretty strong case based on what you heard. The people who liked the Xbox 360 controller now prefer the PS4 controller. I myself like the offset controls of the analog sticks.
Yep. That's a fair point.
I can't imagine myself switching to preferring a PlayStation 4. And then there's of course my friends list of people. That's always a pretty big factor in like where, you know, like you said, you have friends you like to play games with. You all have your own posses and your preference.
Yeah.
So I think Xbox for multi-platform will be my preferred console, but like DC said earlier, how big of a factor will the specs for the PS4 push it beyond X1 is sort of remains to be seen.
Yeah, we'll see.
I did see a Japanese person here. They have a comment about Kinect, and they're saying, "What happens if your Kinect 2.0 dies? What does that do to your games and your system?"
DRM is activated.
Is that like ambush DRM?
You get phoned.
You get exponed. Yeah, that's a blue screen of death.
You get disconnected.
Oh.
No, because the reason he says it is because you do mount it up high, and being given that Japan is an accident, earthquake-prone place. What if we get a huge earthquake in Tokyo, which they're saying in the next 4 years? And
I think you've got bigger worries than your
there's more worries to have than your Xbox breaking if there's a massive earthquake.
About their chief architect obviously hasn't thought things through, so I doubt he cares about earthquake-prone.
Yeah.
If it dies, what if it brown? Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now that the 360 Xbox One has stopped all of this DRM and stuff, and it's region free, things are looking a lot more interesting now, and I think it's all about the games. And that's what I really wanted it to be in the first place. Is it's about the games and what developers can do with the technology that they've got. And now that there's no borders or barriers for people to get into, and there's no entry level other than actually buying a damn console and playing the games, and it's all about games. So I'm happy now. It's games.
Yay.
Just all I have to worry about now is my wallet and being stabbed by my wife because I've spent too much money.
Yeah,
DC, you got rid of your library, like your retro games and all that stuff. Are you gonna you want to go digital, or is that just like what was the motivation? Are you gonna want to go digital? Yeah, go ahead.
The motivation was actually, it started during the earthquake when I was actually working from home, and I had pretty much like quite a lot of games stacked up on shelves, and then the rest were in cupboards. And during the earthquake, all the games on the shelves came flying off, and almost everything from the cupboards came emptying out. And I was left, I think I've got a picture somewhere, it's like with, hundreds and hundreds of games just strewn across my floor, and I was just like, it was one of those moments where I was looking at it, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I don't have time to play these. I could have quite easily, ironically, been killed by a games collection.
Oh, God.
I just thought, it was really one of those moments where I was like, I've spent all this money on this stuff, and I just haven't got the time to play it. I can sell it, and someone who can actually play it can get some use out of it, rather than me sitting, mainly admiring them on a shelf. The days when I could sit and play.
There's a museum at that time, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I should have maybe just kept hold of it a bit longer and then actually spent the time to sell them one by one. But I just bulk sold off everything, and to be honest, it felt pretty good doing it.
Yeah, they had to.
I mean, now my collection is, I'm not going to have much in the way of, if I need something to play, I've got, a set of games that I actually want to play, and not stuff that, maybe I finished in the past and I just bought again just to make sure I had a copy. It's a bit of an OCD collectionitis thing that I had. It's nice to be, I won't say that it wouldn't be nice to have a huge room full of these games again, but, not now. Not at
so you're going to go, you think you're going to go mainly digital for next gen?
No, what I would like to try and do is, like, if I can completely clear my backlog, what I would really like to do is, buy a game and then try and get through it and then sell it.
Immediately.
Just buy the physical.
Lean, yeah, I like that lean style. I'm thinking that's my.
And then, unless it's an absolute classic, just get rid of it.
You've taken on the Martin mentality.
Think about the Martin way.
That's the Martin mentality. Buy it, finish it, get rid. Next game, done.
Yeah,
but,
and then when you start putting it in,
the cheesy, you have an ongoing collection, all right?
Yeah, I've only ever sold one game, and I rebought it again later.
I've never sold a game yet, but I'm starting to feel that.
Well, okay, to be fair, I was like 9 years old and short on money.
I get a feeling.
I forgive you.
We're okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, man.
I had NES Millipede, and I wanted to get the original Mega Man, and I didn't have $10
at church.
It's in a confession box.
So I sold my copy of NES Millipede for $5, and I had $5. So I had the $10 to get Mega Man.
Do 20 up, up, down, left, right, BA starts, and drink some holy water, and you're good to go.
That's the Konami code. Mega Man is Capcom.
Well, yeah. We're agnostic here.
Okay. And yeah, I have Yeah, I don't sell games. I keep a collection.
DC, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
How many games did you think you had before you sold them?
Here it comes.
Probably the top end of about somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 probably.
Wow.
And I'd say I don't know.
And how long had it taken to build up this collection?
I actually sold them all off about 5 years ago, and then I rebought in over the last 4 years. So I actually went down. I didn't sell everything, but I bombed. I got rid of all my arcade boards at about 5 or 6, well, it'd been about 6 years ago. And at that point, I had maybe 200 and something arcade boards. But my collection was at that time it wasn't as big as it was this time. But then when I got back into it this time, I went really all in on stuff like Famicom stuff, like boxed Famicom. So
Nice.
boxed Famicom stuff was like about 400 or 500 games on its own.
Wow.
Similarly, the 300 or 400 Super Nintendo games. So, on 2 platforms alone, you're already at, 700. I think PlayStation was the biggest. PlayStation 2. I think I had about 800 and something PlayStation 2 games.
Moly.
But is this like I'm trying to figure this out. So is it just like a wax museum? Are you really playing a lot of these?
I have some pictures somewhere. I'll dig them out.
Have you played? Like, what percentage have you played?
Player-wise, I mean, like I say, a lot of them when I first got here, I actually had time to play. I would sit and play through quite a few of these games. But I mean, I'm not going to lie and say that I sat and played through all of these games, because it basically didn't. But I just wanted to have all of them, so I always had an option. I always had the option of, well, if I'm talking about Holy Diver on Famicom and I want to play it, I go and play it or whatever. So it was a bit. And the other thing about my wife's collection's also fairly.
Yeah, I was going to say the moral of the story is marry a woman who plays games, because that's impossible.
If we'd added together both our collections at the height, it would have been pretty silly. Pretty silly numbers, but then again, I mean, it was stupid basically. When you think back about it, it's just a waste of money in terms of time you can spend on these games. I don't particularly see it as like, oh my god, this was amazing. It was fun to have, but now I look back and I just think, what an idiot. I could have had a really good collection with 400 or 500 games and not have to have that sort of ridiculous waste of cash and waste of space. So, hey ho, it was fun.
So, how do you have that kind of space in Japan?
We bought a place. Our place is, without being crass about it, it's fairly big. It's now a nisetai, but I mean, our side is like close to 200 square meters.
A nisetai is a dwelling for two households.
Yeah. So we have our in-laws in the back. So total space is like 300 and something square meters, which for a Japanese house is pretty big. So, but even then, we need to divvy the house up so that we have bedrooms. So, that's another reason that we've got 2 kids. Do
you think that was a reason why you got rid of some of the games? Is because you've got kids now?
Yeah, I mean, certainly in the last few weeks, that was the push to get rid of the last of the stuff was definitely right. We need to start getting our 3rd floor needs to become bedrooms. At the moment, we're sort of split across 2 floors. Mm-hmm. So we're fixing.
It sounds like the lost floor of Super Potato. I mean, when the way you describe it, all those games.
It was when we had some family friends come over, and they're really into Japanese games, and they.
Charge admission.
We took them up and they just stood there in silence looking at the shelves, and I was like, if there's anything you want to play, and they just stood there looking at it, and I was like, good God, what the hell am I doing?
You should have charged people, man. You should just put like 100 yen on the door to get in, play what you want.
Separate entrance.
Yeah.
Fire pole.
I should have got my business hat on and done something a bit better with it. But
the fire pole, you could escape from the earthquake too. I mean,
actually, the best thing we ever bought between me and my wife was the arcade machines. That was pretty cool.
That's special.
That was a really cool time. At that time, we had a flatmate as well, and the 3 of us would there was 4 machines, so we had something in rotation on the 3, and then the main cabinet. So we had pretty much every arcade.
Well, these Retro City arcade machines or
Astro Cities?
Astro City, sorry.
Yeah. So it's
You just swap the boards.
yeah, you swap the boards in and out. Except for the main cabinet, which was just a PC in a box and wired up to the harness.
You lived the dream for a while.
It was just awesome. It was, come back and
Gaming Nirvana.
Mr.
Yeah.
Driller G, Radiant Silvergun, R-Type 2,
Man.
Cannon Dancer, that sort of stuff. Really good.
Wow.
Like the hidden true Akihabara, man.
That was fun.
Awesome.
You crazy, man. Oh, Stephen, I've got one question for you before we get out of here.
All right.
David Evans asks, has Steve finished Persona 4 yet?
No. Okay. No.
No, he hasn't.
I got like. All right.
You got laid?
No. I mean that was something for the. That's something for the commute. I'm not commuting currently. And
okay.
I play the Vita, with exception to Hatsune Miku. I don't really. I usually reserve that for commuting. So I may get a full-time job in the next month. I'll be working in an office again. So if that happens, then I'll probably. That's when it would happen.
Excellent.
So soon.
Okie dokie. Well, I think that'll do it for today. For this
Turned out to
episode.
be a bit longer than we expected.
Aye, yeah. It's let's blame Obama. Thanks, Obama.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Anyways,
It's not July 4th yet.
July 4th is the day I have my operation, and it was funny. My surgeon says, "Oh yeah, we'll give you July 4th for your operation date. It'll be a good day for you." And I was like,
Uh-oh.
"Why? What's July 4th?" And he went, "It's Independence Day." And I went,
Oh.
"Yeah, but I'm English." And he went, "Oh, sorry."
No.
Awkward.
Yeah, totally wrong, dude. Yeah, he thought I was American, and I was like, "Nope, sorry, English." Anyways, let's get out of here.
Yep.
So, DC, thank you for coming on
Thanks, as
again.
always.
As I said, you're always welcome. DC, your handle is?
DCharlieJP.
There you go, Cheesy.
Cheesemeister 3K.
Steven.
Steve_Red Sun G.
I am DJmizuhara, and this is episode 58. Let's go to some of this.
It's got us
Let's go to some of this.